We should tape those down too, probably. Somewhere. Or maybe not. Whatever you. Okay, good evening, folks. Hello and welcome to Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com. It's the PlayOnSports.com pregame show, live from Pope John Paul II High School here in Hendersonville, Tennessee, just north of Nashville. I'm Phil Newman here with Dave Knott and Jessica Parsley on production. On your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup, as you can see there on the screen, features the visiting Battleground Academy Wildcats, BGA out of Franklin, Tennessee. Comes in record of 2-0 against the homestanding Pope John Paul II, PJP 2. The Knights come in with a record of 1-1. It's a big game here in Division 2A from beautiful Hendersonville, Tennessee. I'd say the weather looked really, really bad about an hour and a half ago, and now it's, as you can tell, but it's beautiful here. Blue skies and a little bit breezy. Feels almost like fall. And with quite a matchup here against with two teams that are known for being tough competitors. Both coaches before the game were sizing up the other team and saying they've got a big challenge ahead of them. So, Dave, what are your thoughts on this matchup and what we gained from talking to the coaches before the game? Any insights you noticed from talking to those guys?
I think it's going to be a pretty good game. We got BGA. It's going to be a little bit slick. They're a little bit smaller than Pope John. But Pope John has a lot of incentive. They're coming in off of a loss last week, and to top it all off, they're going to want to win for their home fans with homecoming this evening.
Absolutely. Forgot to mention that. That's a good point there. It is an early season homecoming game. In fact, we were talking to a couple of the organizers, and they were noting that the schedule was a bit different this year, that it's very early here, not even September yet, and they're having homecoming. So that's one factor, that's one of the consequences of school starting earlier and earlier every year as you have events like football games starting earlier. We've been blessed with some really pretty cool weather in August, all things considered, so shouldn't be a factor with the weather. One thing we talked about, Dave, before the game is this surface, this synthetic surface. This is the second year of this brand new beautiful field, but it is a little bit slick, and that could be a factor.
Yeah, we did walk the field a little bit earlier and asked the coach about cleat selection and things of that nature, and they said they're just going with regular cleats, nothing special. After the first few plays, they said it should rub off and should have some good cuts, good runs, and guess we'll see.
Yep, we're about 10 minutes away from the scheduled kickoff time. I have the clock that says 12:05 to our left. The scoreboard there here at Pope John Paul in Hendersonville says Faith and Wisdom on top, and of course Knights and Visitor. Beautiful campus here, just right off of Vietnam Veterans Memorial Parkway in Hendersonville. It's just a gorgeous setting for a football game.
Yeah, it's really nice. If you get a chance, you need to look over here to the right. They got a beautiful track, good softball field, good baseball field, just just an all-around beautiful athletic facility they have here.
All right, setting things up. This is Division II, I should say AA, Division II AA East Middle District. This is the first game in, I guess you'd say, league play for both these teams. They come into their first matchup here. The teams in this league are Innsworth BGA, of course, Father Ryan Baylor out of Chattanooga, Pope John Paul II, Montgomery Bell Academy NBA, Brentwood Academy, and then McCallie, I get them mixed up all the time. But so those teams are just beginning now district play. You can see a little bit different situation with these teams so far in the first two games. Battleground Academy has scored 43 points, given up 24. Pope John Paul has scored 55, given up 50. They lost that game last week where Coach Jocelyn for Pope John Paul said they put a lot of offense on the board, 400-plus yards offense, but didn't come away with very many points. They're very disappointing. So they're hoping they can bounce back tonight from that one, Dave.
Yeah, he had told us they had 408 yards. Got in the red zone a few times and fumbled it over 4 times, and it's not going to win you a ball game turning the ball over. You got to control the ball.
Turnovers for sure. That's one thing Coach Jocelyn said they want to try to eliminate. We can go through a little bit of the rundown. Both coaches gave us some insights. For Pope John Paul, the Knights, Coach Jocelyn, head coach Jocelyn, and by the way, he just looks like a football coach, doesn't he? He just got that look.
He does look like a football coach.
He is the quintessential football coach. He's if you put a movie together, you need to have him play the football coach. He says the keys to the game for his team against BGA would be to, number one is stop Keenan Bass. Keenan Bass, number 2 for BGA, an outstanding 5'9", 160-pound running back, a sophomore, get that correct on that. He's actually a senior. My bad. That's the next guy down. So senior Keenan Bass off to a really strong start the first 2 games, Dave, and that's going to be a key for BGA on offense and a key on defense for Pope John Paul.
Yeah, that's what he was telling us. It's just going to he's going to have to control them, get a good balance on offense and defense. And he said he wasn't going to do anything special. Said either he's going to run their defense, run their offense, and may the best man win.
Indeed, and Coach Jocelyn also was talking about the quarterback for BGA as a threat. They've got to try to stop on defense. That would be Tucker Bethard. That Bethard sounds familiar. His brother played ahead of him, and they've got a younger brother too. I think is a freshman, also is a quarterback. So that family, as anybody knows, the Bethard family has a strong football pedigree, and so Tucker is a junior. And I think Coach Rock Batten for BGA said he thinks that he's coming into his own and has gotten off to a decent start, and they really expect good things out of him.
Yeah, this will be his third start ever, so it should be fun to see what he's able to do. Coach had a lot of confidence in him, and expect to see good things from him tonight and in the future.
Now back to Pope John Paul. They are trying to, he was saying good things about BGA, which they, including they have a balanced attack on offense, and he said a lot of nice things about Coach Batten, who has spent some time at Innsworth, among other places, and now at BGA. Coach Jocelyn credited him with being a very sound, smart coach who's going to have his team disciplined and ready to play, and that's the case. They're 2-0, so
that is the key, and they'll tell you all the way up from Pop Warner all the way to the pros. Fundamentals, good coaching, don't turn it over.
Absolutely, and one thing Coach Jocelyn said he thinks their defense, BGA's defense, he used the term vanilla as a compliment. And they got a vanilla as in they're not going to do anything fancy. They're going to line up and say, hey, if you can beat us, beat us.
Exactly. They're going to every man on defense knows his job. They're going to do his job. The offense is going to know what they're going to be doing, and they're just going to say, hey, if you can win, you can win, but we're going to smack you in the mouth first.
You got to come right through us, and you said it earlier, Dave. Coach Jocelyn said turnovers have got to be a key, and also clock control. And that's something both coaches said, that from the standpoint of Coach Jocelyn for Pope John Paul, they want to control the clock. They want to run the ball, establish the run, and chew up yardage and let the clock run and make it kind of a ground game. And Coach Batten said on the other side of the ball, they've got to try to prevent that from happening. They've got to contain the run. And they had some similar success as a similar team. Here comes the band marching through the parking lot. But BGA had faced a similar team the first week when they played Smyrna. Smyrna is a strong running team, so I think not a surprise for Coach Batten and his BGA Wildcats.
There's no question he's going to have him prepared for the run game. And Coach Jocelyn said he's a run first. Most high schools are a run first, pass second. But he's also not going to be scared to mix it up if need be.
And I think just out of camera range right now, you see a pretty fun scene there. I should say this, our camera is up on top. We can't always, there we go. Now there goes the camera. I want to give a shout out to Jarvis, our videographer tonight. Jarvis Mitchell upstairs doing camera duty. And here comes the spirit, it's like sort of a spirit line, if you will. Cheerleaders and some of the students wrapped up in their, you see them with their banners. It's a great looking group with all their banners coming this direction. It looked like there may be are those some Jason masks on there, some Freddy Krueger, or Jason masks, I can't tell, or hockey masks.
I have no clue.
But here comes the Knights there when they're in their home white with gold helmets and gold pants. Homecoming, as Dave mentioned earlier, big night early in the season here for the homestanding Knights. We haven't seen BGA yet. The captains are out on the field there. The captains looks like we've got, here we go, number 12. Jalen Thompson is one of the captains there, number 12, along with Devin Scott, 71, and Benton Petty, 87, will be the captains for the Knights.
Brian Dangerfield, or is that a different name?
I think that's BGA. So here for Pope John Paul, do you see Dangerfield?
Oh, yes.
Here come the captains for BGA across the way. Yep, BGA's captains are across the way. You'll see them in a while. There's the Go Knights banner. You know, it's just great, Dave, to be out here. The tradition and the pageantry, if you will, of high school football, especially in the South, Tennessee. It's a wonderful thing.
You can't help not like high school football. With all the energy and surroundings and everything that goes into it, it's just wonderful.
And then Dave mentioned the captain's coming for BGA. It looks like we've got number 4, Jordan Tutler there. 55, Hasty Moran, a senior leader. You'll hear his name a lot, Hasty Moran. And then 65 is Kamani Roberts. And I lost the other number behind, as you see, zoom in there. Captain's getting instructions. We talked to the referees before the game. That was interesting to get their perspective on some of the things, some of the rules. And they said they're really going to keep an eye out for head hits, targeting, if you will. So those of the local folks who saw the Vanderbilt game last night saw a couple examples of that. I saw one where a couple helmets flew off, and referees are really looking hard. Concussions are a big topic of discussion these days, and so they're going to look for any kind of what used to be called spearing, I guess, or taking a guy's head off.
Yeah, you can't launch yourself right into an opponent, undefended opponent. And also a new rule on kickoffs, you're not allowed to block until the ball is gone 10 yards. So, again, safety first.
We talked about that kickoff rule where it's sort of partly designed to prevent things on an onside kick from taking the receivers right out, from a kicking team taking the receivers out and clearing them out. You can't contact them until the ball's gone 10 yards or been touched by the receiver. Here come the Knights toward their sideline. They look a little bit, if you had to say, a little bit like Notre Dame or a little bit like Vanderbilt, actually.
Similar, maybe just put a V on the side of their helmet and then make a pass for them.
Could be down on West End right now almost. And we've got, speaking of Vanderbilt, one of their alumni, Wesley Tate, is a Vanderbilt Commodore. Had a good game last night for the Commodores in their close loss to South Carolina. And, of course, most folks know that Golden Tate plays for the Seahawks, former Notre Dame star, also a graduate here of Pope John Paul, second outstanding speedster in his day, and still is.
Yes, these fans here are definitely not lacking on talent, watching talent year in and year out, so it should be interesting on what we see this evening.
Now, for just a quick second, we'll talk a little bit about what Coach Rock Batten for BGA said. They got to stop the run first, and they got to stop the quarterback, who is Jacob Pullman, number 17, a 5'10", 165-pound junior. Now we'll pause. We're going to have the invocation and the national anthem here before we get started. Now we'll have the Star Spangled Banner. That would be a Pope John Paul II Sr. singing the national anthem. That's beautiful stuff there by the PJP2 student. Excellent, excellent national anthem. Almost game time here, football time, if you will, in Tennessee. John Ward used to say. I think we still say that, some of us. And I'm not going to talk too much about UT, my alma mater, but I'm missing that game. I'll have to watch that on tape later.
That's going to be a tough one to miss. It should be a good game, but
we got a good one here, too.
I think you're going to enjoy what you see tonight.
We talked to Coach Batten. Something's got to give. They've played very good defense the past couple of weeks. He did say he wants his team to play 4 quarters of defense, that they haven't finished well on defense the first 2 games, but they have put up good defensive numbers, and Pope John Paul's put up some good offensive numbers, so something's going to have to give tonight.
Yeah, he said, Coach said that they always played good first half. He just wants to put together a complete game and see 4 quarters of good, solid football.
Once again, if you're just joining us, it's the Friday Night Football PlayOnSports.com, one of the games of the week here, coming live from Hendersonville, Tennessee, just north of Nashville. Phil Newman again with you here, and Dave Knott. And on production, we have Jessica Parsley. Up top on the camera, Jarvis, our friend Jarvis Mitchell. On your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Kickoff upcoming here. BJ in blue will kick off to the Knights. Kick is in the air. It's a good one. It'll be taken there by number 1, Upton. He's got a wall of blockers. He's got some room. He's got a lot of room, actually. Upton may go a long way. He's still going. He's taken down finally after a huge kickoff return by Jacquees Upton, number 1, the junior. What a big play for Pope John Paul to start the game.
What a run. What a fantastic run. Followed his blockers, waited for him to open a hole, and exploded.
Really nice not a wedge, but really just a wall that he had of blockers there. So he was taken down. I think it was Barry on the tackle, number 22. So it'll be first down already. First play of the game will be inside BGA territory for Pope John Paul. At quarterback, you'll see Jacob Pullman, number 17. Actually, it's a Wildcat right now. They've got Perry. He takes the ball. He's going to make the throw it, or maybe not. 2 flags go down. Long pass. And it's tipped away at the last minute there. 2 flags are down. Looking like it could have been holding. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But that was on the coverage there. It was Barry against the sophomore for BGA. Pass intended for lookalike Brad Giroux. Giroux is a key player tonight for Pope John Paul, number 85. He's a senior, 5'10", 170. Coach Jocelyn said he's got to have a big game for them. Yeah,
Coach Jocelyn said that he is the athlete of the group. So it should be interesting to see what he's going to do tonight.
They're going backward, aren't they? That's procedure. So we'll have a 5-yard penalty marched off against Pope John Paul. They'll be just 1 yard inside midfield in BGA territory. It'll be first down coming in 15. Now we see Pullman come in. The first play there, a little bit of a, not trickery, but the Wildcat right out of the gate. Now it looks like it's going to be more of a traditional under center will go Jacob Pullman, the junior. 2 backs. Man in motion. Handoff up the gut. Belly play. Still churning the legs there is number 37, Jordan Bakley. Good run up the gut there, Dave.
Did use number 7 and gave it to the fullback, and he stuck it up in there for a good gain.
So that gets him some of the yardage back and then some. It looks like it's going to bring up second down, about 7 to go from the 41. Similar formation. Pullman under center, 2 backs. One other man in motion, this time the other direction. Same play, the other side. Bakley again up the middle, this time not quite so much. He's stacked up by several Wildcats, including number 55, Hasty Moran. We said Moran would be a key player for BGA.
Well, he did his job there. Going to be third down. Let's see what Coach Jocelyn has dialed up for him.
Big early conversion attempt here for third down conversion attempt. We'll see if they can get it outside of field goal range probably at this point, unless they've got a powerful leg.
You're going to have a monster of a leg.
Tom Dempsey or Rich Carlos or something like that going back a couple years. Here it is. Pullman in the shotgun, rolls out, looking over the top. What a nice play. Is he in? No. He's out of bounds. They said out of bounds. It was a good catch, but just out of bounds there. Looked like was Giroux, the intended receiver. So it's going to bring up fourth down and call it 5. 4th and 5 on the 39. We'll see what they're going to do. They may be going for it. Now here comes, looks like a punt team coming in. On that one, it must have been just out of bounds on the far sideline. Referee was right on the spot.
I think they're going to go for it.
They appear to be going for it, at least lining up in an eye, a stack eye, with that in mind perhaps. Flag goes down. Guessing that might be the clock. Yeah, they had a little bit of, I think, discussion about what play to call there, whether to kick or whether to go for it, and that cost them 5. Now you'd think they would punt.
That might be just enough to change their mind.
Yeah, with now it's 4th and about 10, so that's a big difference. So into kick, it looks like it will be Giroux. He's an athlete. He's all kinds of an athlete, all mid-state in baseball. Now it is a fake. He's got a lot of room. But not going to sniffed out nicely there by BGA, led by who else? Moran, Hasty Moran, 55. Changed that play, really disrupted the play.
I was not expecting that. I thought they were going for the field position, and here we go again.
Could have pinned him deep perhaps there, but instead tried a little trickery with Coach Jocelyn. Getting some bags out of the trick early on. Didn't work, so 1st and 10 now. First possession of the game, 10:03 on the clock, first quarter. Here comes BGA for the first time, led by Tucker Beathard, number 5. He's in the shotgun, one back behind him there. It's Keenan Bass, number 2. Look out for Bass. And 3 receivers out wide. I'm guessing it's going to go to Bass. I'm right. Keenan Bass looking for room. Skips outside and is taken down after about 3 yards. Good tackle there. Looked like I lost track of the tackler. They're saying Bakley perhaps on the tackle over there, 85. He'll be in the mix a lot. That was Giroux, rather, 85. Bakley is 37. He was in on the play too, I think. Brings up second down, 8. So Beathard, Dave mentioned it, his third start. Junior, 5'8". Goes about 160. Not a big guy. There goes the big tight end in motion. Number 80 is Grosvenor. Here's a handoff to Bass, the other side. Bass is quick. Look at Bass go. Bass is a runner. It's that's the real deal on that kind of run. He had speed and he had hesitation just enough to get himself some space.
Just enough to move the chains. He had some good moves, made it to the outside, and picked up first down.
Coach Batten said he's been really impressed with Keenan's progress the first 2 games, and you can see why. Bass, a senior, 5'7", goes 155. He'll play defensive back as well. And Bass looks like he's going to be a tough target for Pope John Paul tonight. He's slippery, and he's quick. Similar formation, this time under center, though, goes Beathard with Bass behind him. 2 receivers out far left, 1 man in motion now. Goes in the backfield at fullback. It's an I formation. It's a handoff. Bass again. Bass this time stacked up pretty nicely there in the hole by Shalado, 49. The junior, 6'2", 225. Good play there by Shalado, linebacker.
He 49 closed that hole right when it opened, and Bass had nowhere to go.
So 3 plays on offense, I think, so far for BGA, and all 3 of them have gone to Keenan Bass, if my calculations are correct. So he's obviously going to be a big part of their offense. It's the shotgun again with Beathard and Bass behind him. Spread offense, really. Timeout called early on. I think Coach Batten was concerned about the clock. The clock was going to run out. They're both, the coaches are over there circling their hands as if to say, we got to go faster, guys.
Do you want to watch some more of your school's great matchups, like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for Play On Sports Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/S-B-P.
All right, thank you, Dave. PlayOnSports.com bringing you 100-plus games tonight around the country. We're proud to be one crew working here in Hendersonville, Tennessee at Pope John Paul II, home of the Knights. You might have heard that during the national anthem when they got to the word Knight. Some of the fans down here turned it into Knights. So a little school pride in the anthem. Here we come. So that was the first time out at half for either team called, and BJ will line it up. They have similar formation. You've got Beathard. Now beside him to the left is Bass. My guess is going to go to Bass. We'll see. If I was a betting man, I'd say Bass gets the ball here. Well, maybe they'll throw it to him. Oh, it's going to be a run for Beathard. Beathard's a good runner. That time he's going to be tracked down and thrown down. Nice play by number 72, Daniel Alnemery, 5'10", 280-pound junior. Nice play there on defense.
Real nice play. I didn't know if it was a design quarterback draw or a busted play, or
hard to tell. Looked like maybe Beathard looked to pass at first, and then he decided to run. Maybe it was a broken play. Maybe he saw nobody open. I think it was going to be a quick pass play. Brings up a big third down here, about 3rd and 8 from the 35. Snap, handoff. Bass is quick, but he's tracked down. Well, he fights forward toward the first down marker. He was carrying, or trying to carry there for a moment, number 49 for Pope John Paul, Shalado. He is going to be close but short. Brings up 4th and less than a yard. My assumption they're going to go for it here, Dave. Looks like it.
Kind of in that no man's land position right now, but 4th and less than 1 doesn't sound like a bad idea.
And they're on the 28 or so, maybe just outside of field goal range, perhaps. Here we go, 6:53 to go, first quarter. Big 4th down attempt for BGA. 2 backs, now it's going to be timeout again. Oh, no, flag. It's going to be a delay of game. So now they probably are going to punt it. One would speculate.
That's again what they were talking about in that timeout before. Is getting the play in and getting going.
Now we'll have, what do we have now, the punter? Well, let's see, it's Beathard coming back out, so maybe they're going to go for it. You may see a quick kick, you may see a, who knows what. No, they're lining up as if they're going to go for it. Beathard and Bass in the backfield. Ball's on the 33, 2.5. Fourth, about 6. Beathard goes back to pass. Good protection. He finds a receiver wide open. It's going to be a first down and more for number 7, Dangerfield. He found a seam there just a couple yards downfield and picked up the first.
That O-line gave him enough time to check down, look around, find his receiver, and picked up the first down.
Strong protection there. There's some big guys on that front line for BGA. See a couple. See Kamani Roberts is one of them. He goes 297. Yeah, there's some big guys up there up front. Same formation, basically 3 wides. Beathard at quarterback with Bass behind him. This time it's a handoff, and what a play on defense right there. Well, he's still going, still trying to go anyway. Is Bass, but he is taken down nicely there by number 51, Hunter Apple, 6'1", 200-pound sophomore. What a play by Apple there.
Good play. He just burst right through the line right after he got through complimenting him and took Bass down for a huge loss.
I'd say he wasn't the apple of Bass's eye on that play.
Not that time.
I may use a bad pun. Bass got the ball, and all he saw was 2 big arms waiting to embrace him right there. Now it's long. Second down, and we're going to say 22. Same, kind of a delay handoff. And snowed under will be Bass. Maybe another loss of about a loss of a half yard, they're going to say on that play. So Bass had nowhere to go on that one.
Defense starting to get fired up on homecoming night tonight.
Well, we heard Coach Joslin say their first priority is to stop Bass, and they are trying to do that now. The first 3 plays were successful for BJA, but since then they've gone backward, basically. So now we have 3rd and what are they saying? 25 to go on the 36. Similar formation. Shotgun with Bass behind Beathard. Here we go. It's going to be a fake handoff. This on play action. It's going to be holding. It's coming back. Holding. Long pass downfield doesn't matter. Incomplete, but tackled there in the backfield was one of the rushing down linemen.
That was one of those obvious plays that we could see from here.
Referee Mike Sands looks like he's signaled toward the sideline. They're going to decline that one, I'm guessing, because it's going to bring up 4th and 4th down and Gallatin to go. And it looks like now, what do you think, Dave? Do you go for it or do you punt this one?
That's a good question. I would probably punt it and try to play the field position.
They don't look like they're going to punt though. They lined up like they're going to go for it. They may shift into a kicking formation. We'll find out. 4th down and 25 to go. Ball in the 36. This would be one whale of a. Now they call timeout. Or they let the clock run down. Well, delayed game.
Try to get the defense to jump.
And also perhaps create a little more space to pin them deep. I don't know. Maybe you're right about that, looking for a penalty. But either way, it's going to be still going to be 4th down and 20. Now 4th and 30 rather on the 41. So that drive had promise and then it really stalled. Back to kick. Looks like it's Grosvenor, number 80. With the end-over-end kick. Oh, what a bounce, though, for BGA. Beautiful. It died, didn't it, on the 5-yard line.
That was a nice kick. I thought that was going to roll right into the end zone, but like you said, it just died.
That could be a consequence, Dave, of this surface, which has some grass sticking up and some laying down. It might just hit a patch of grass and just skidded to a stop. So, Coach John Paul will be pinned deep.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter. Give your news and information and links to the great highlights. Follow us on Play On Sports both on Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/playon/network.
We'll get it.
Keep up with all the high school action every week. For your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
That's right. Social media is a big deal these days. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all that fun stuff. You can find Play on Sports there, as Dave said. While we were away there, we had first down, not much really, maybe no gain or a half-yard gain on the play. We're going to call it 2nd down and 9 for Pope John Paul, deep in their own territory. They're pinned in. We'll see if BJ can pin them in. Here we go. Wow, what a tackle there, man. That was 55 again. Hasty Moran. He certainly was hasty in getting to the tackle to the running back in that situation. Another no gain, so it's going to be 3rd now and 9. So right now it's a precarious situation if you're Pope John Paul, the second. The Knights trying to avoid having to punt deep out of their own end zone. If you're just joining us, we'll remind you of BGA 2-0. They've beaten Smyrna and Ravenwood from down in Williamson County area. And the Pope John Paul 1-1. Here we go. 3rd down and long. Clock play stopped. I didn't quite see what happened there, Dave. Did you catch that? It's a penalty against
delay game.
The Knights. Okay, delayed game. So they'll be marched back half the distance now. It's going to get even tougher for them. Ball taken just inside the 4. So that brings up 3rd down and about 11, I believe, to the 15. Pullman at quarterback. One back behind him. It's a handoff. Up the middle. A little bit of room there. And turning down past the 10 is Vincent Perry, number 7, the sophomore. Perry gets a little bit of breathing space for the punter.
That was a good run. He did give him a little bit of breathing space. It's also going to give BGA good field position.
Brad Giroux back to punt for Pope John Paul. And the receiving end, it'll be Ronald Cleveland, number 3. Way back. It was a decent punt. He's going to let it bounce, let it roll. Well, takes a big Pope John Paul, the second bounce. Cleveland trying to get something going. Decent run back to the 45. That was odd. He was way back on that, waiting for the punt. I thought maybe a little bit too far back, but that may be by design.
A little bit scary picking that ball up off the bounce like that with the defense come running at you.
Absolutely. It worked out okay for him that time. I know the coaches hold their breath in that situation, Dave.
I know I hold my breath, so I can only imagine what they're doing.
1st and 10 here for BGA on their own 45. Clock at 1:45. First quarter's gone by really fast. Lots of running plays. Clock has been running. BGA's second offensive possession of the game. No score here from Pope John Paul II. Bethard again in the backfield. 2 backs there. Bass behind him. Keenan Bass takes the handoff. Looking for some space. Flag goes down. Bass got a lot of room. Bass is quick. My goodness, Bass can run.
He is fast and he can cut too.
He was patient there and he cut upfield, but I believe it might just come back. It's in the area where it could be holding by a receiver. We'll find out.
He's a tough guy to find behind these big old linemen too.
He does have a way of hiding back there. We'll talk about Bass goes 5'7", 155, so he would be considered almost a scat back type size guy. But it is a penalty against his team, so they'll back up 5. I'm guessing now it may have been procedure. I didn't see the signal.
I do believe it's a procedure.
So now 1st and 15 on the 40 for BGA. Clock at 1:30 first quarter, no score. Here from Hendersonville, Tennessee on playonsports.com. It is Bethard again in the shotgun. He's been there quite a bit. 2 receivers wide. 6 on the line now, 1 behind. It's going to be Bass, Bethard. The pass is low. Is it caught? I think it was considered incomplete. The back judge appeared to say incomplete. I think the ball may have skipped off the ground. Oh, they're going to say, what are they going to say? Yes, incomplete.
Incomplete, taking it back to the spot.
And if he caught it, his knee was down when he caught it anyway, so it wouldn't have been much. Now 2nd down, 15. Back in the game for Pope John Paul comes Shalata, 49. He's middle linebacker there, key player for them. Okay, so it's Tucker Bethard, Keenan Bass in the backfield. In motion goes Jordan Tutler, number 4. He stops. It's a pitch out to Bass. Bass looking for room. Bass skipping around. Bass is amazing. Bass is going to go for a 1st down almost fumbles, but goes out of bounds inside the 30 to about the 25. Taken down there by, looks like number 15, Lee Holden. But what a run by Bass. That guy.
He got that fast.
Sharp.
I can't tell you how difficult it is to just sit back and wait for things to develop. A guy that fast just wants to take off, but he waited and was patient, and good things came.
That showed his quickness and his patience to get outside and find the holes. And good blocking, of course, by BGA. So now first down and 10 for them at the Pope John Paul II 26. Now, running back, new running back. 24 has the ball for BGA. A lot of room, cuts back. He'll go inside the 15 there. That was Mark Ridley Thomas, number 24. First carry of the game for him, the 5'9" senior. Good little run, good blocking again by BGA. They're playing some sound blocking schemes, it looks like.
Fundamentals, and it really didn't look like there's that big of a drop-off from Bass to Ridley Thomas.
So now it'll be another first down for BGA. They certainly have dominated the time of possession and the yardage so far. No score yet, though, and we're about to have the first quarter end on us, I think, right now. Well, they get the playoff. They do. What a fake there. Wide open. Heading down toward the end zone. Nice tackle, though. But a good rollout pass there to number 30.
That was
Noah Mayberry.
That was a great fake. He had the defense chasing ghosts and rolled out and hit the guy in the flat.
Looked like Mayberry was trying to make it all the way to Mount Pilot right there, but he didn't quite get all the way. He was tackled right around the 7, and that'll end the first quarter. I'm full of those bad jokes.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school, playoff, and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
All right. We have a score from the Tennessee game. We hear it's 13-7. Volunteers lead NC State right now down in Atlanta, the Georgia Dome.
13-7.
13-7. Tennessee. Right, actually, they just scored again. Looks like maybe 15-7. I can't quite tell. We're trying to keep up with that one. Not trying to keep up, but keeping one eye on that. So the first quarter there, Dave, obviously you had to say BGA dominated on the field. Didn't put it in the end zone, but they certainly had the run of play.
I think that was a great first half. It was defense going for it on fourth down on both sides. Fake punt.
We've seen
it was a little bit of everything right there.
Only one quarter down. Who knows? It'll even get better the next 3 quarters. But this is the first league game for both teams in Division II AA in that Middle East Tennessee league.
And in that league, as strong as that league is with Innsworth, Brentwood Academy, Baylor, you want to start off fast with a good win.
Yes, our Innsworth visits Pope John Paul in a few weeks. That's going to be, for any team playing Innsworth with Corin Elder on the field, that's going to be a stiff challenge. Here we go. The run, it's going to be near the like I say, the 1 yard line goes number 24, Ridley Thomas. Makes you wonder if Bass is injured or they're just trying to balance things out a little bit.
I saw him on that long run. He had kind of looked like he was limping a little back to the sidelines, but
there he comes back in the game now.
You can't hold a guy like that back.
We'll see if he can punch it in or they can punch it in. They're on the 1 yard line, 11:50 just beginning the second quarter here on PlayOnSports.com. It's like a stack eye. 3 backs. They're going to try to block, I would guess, for Keenan Bass. Am I right? Yes, it's a handoff to Bass. Going to the right side, getting in the end zone. Looks like for a moment there that he might be stopped by 49, Shilato, but instead it's a touchdown for BGA. The first points of the game, they go up 6-0 here. 11:40 to go, second quarter.
Good run. He kept those legs turning, and once again, good things happen.
That run looked a little bit like Eddie George's run in the Super Bowl when he just kept those legs churning on the 1 yard line and got in the end zone. If any fans remember that game from about 13 years ago now, I think it was. Is that right? My goodness. I'm getting older.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay. Extra point attempt. Whistle blows. It's good. So that'll be a conversion, and it's 7-0. BGA goes on top. Dave, you don't remember that game? Super Bowl game Tennessee played St. Louis?
I remember it just fine. I couldn't tell you what year it was.
I think it was 99, 2000, maybe 2000. 99-2000 season. That was the run I'm thinking about there. Bass looked like Eddie George when churned his legs and was able to push a defender back from the Rams and get in the end zone. That was that kind of run where he didn't give up. Even though Shalado had him, it looked like maybe on the half-yard line, Bass was not to be deterred. As you said, he kept his legs moving and got in. And, of course, good blocking, too.
He just slightly shorter than Eddie George.
Yeah, I would say Eddie George goes, 6'3" or 4, I believe. Maybe even somewhere in that range. And Keenan Bass, 5'7". 5'7", 155. 155, that's in my shoes right now. Boy, that's I remember that weight back in junior year of high school, I think it was. Maybe sophomore. You still look like you're about there, Dave.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Let's get Phil Newman here along with Dave Knott, Jessica Parsley, and in the production side, Jessica doing a fantastic job. 7-0 BGA leads. Here comes the kickoff. 2 backs to receive. It's going to be a short kick taken by an up back. And he's looking for it to get outside. He'll go down to 36. Nice little play there by number 87, Benton Petty. Good catch by Petty. Of course, he's a tight end. He's got good hands.
We're going to start with good field position. Let's see if they can turn it into some points.
Coach Joslin was saying they've got to control the clock and run the ball. So far, they, of course, they haven't had the ball. They haven't controlled any clock. They haven't had the ball for more than was it 4 or 5 plays. Not much yardage. Really, very few yards for PJP2 so far. Here we'll see if he get rolling on the 36. Handoff up the gut. It is going to be Shalado running for about 5, maybe 6 yards.
That was a good, solid run. Did exactly what the play was designed to do. Just pick up 5-6 yards and look for an easy 3rd and short.
So now we have 2nd down and right at 5 on the 41. 11:07 to go, 2nd quarter. In motion. Pullman takes the ball, going to throw it, try to throw it. He's being hassled, and he'll be taken down by number 40, Will Cross. Will Cross him. He definitely took down Jacob Pullman. No room there for the quarterback.
That was a great job staying with him. I thought he was going to be able to scramble away, but he stuck with him and brought him down for a huge loss.
They're going to say now 3rd and 15 to go from 31. So that 1st down run is negated, and then some. Big loss right there. We'll see if Pullman can recover, and his team can recover from that. Stack eye. Going to be a handoff to the tailback. Churning a little bit past the 35 was Malik Harris, number 2, the sophomore. But now that will be, that looked, Dave, a little bit like we're going to kind of get some yards and punt.
Going back to BGA, who has thus far controlled the clock.
Giroux to punt. It's a big, high, booming kick. About to take the ball. Fumbled and picked up. It's a dead ball at the spot of the fumble, I believe. But that time, Ronald Cleveland, number 3, tried to catch the ball and fumbled it. What a big play for Coach John Paul.
Huge play, huge. Coach Jocelyn was telling us out of all the plays in the game, there's usually only 6 that make a difference. Maybe that could have been one of those.
Great point, and turnovers are critical. That was one. You got to know BGA is sick about that one. That's one of those you want to get as far away from you can from that ball, let it bounce and move out of the way. And that time Cleveland tried to make a great play and catch it. Not a good idea. 1st and 10, new life for Coach John Paul at the 28. Handoff to Perry. No, it's actually, yes, Vincent Perry, number 7. Well, what happened? Fumble? Picked up by BGA. The ball was loose. And now it's a long return, and still going there is number 24. What in the world happened there? Mark Ridley Thomas.
Got a flag down over here at 40.
Flag down back to 42. The play appeared to be over down here, and then all of a sudden up the other way. Let's get this all sorted out. I'm guessing a bad block on the return. What a turn of events, Dave, right away. 2 huge plays.
Maybe that was one of those 6 plays for BGA.
We had 2 in quick succession there, it appears. I didn't even see. I thought the play was whistled dead. The ball squirted out somewhere down there. We talked earlier about this wet field, and perhaps that was a factor. The ball has got to be wet with the slick field. A lot of rain earlier. We joked about walking up these steps and almost sliding around and falling down because it's definitely, the stands are wet, the field is wet. Even though it's synthetic and it drains, it's just slick.
It's just a matter of time before I take a tumble.
Well, I may beat you to it. So that's going to be, well, it is still BGA ball on the turnover, but their return was negated at the spot of the foul. So they're going to go all the way back to the 27, but it will be certainly almost the same result as the punt. If you take away that fumbled punt and then the fumble right there, it's BGA football. Clock at 9:18 to go, second quarter. 7-0 Wildcats lead the homestanding Knights. Here's Beathard at quarterback. Keenan Bass behind him at tailback. Cleveland in motion, number 3. Beathard pitches it back to Bass. Bass looking for some room, finds some. Well, now he's grabbed by the jersey, then taken down finally after a gain of about 4. It looked like there that Shalado might have had him, but only one hand on Keenan Bass, not enough.
The guy's slippery, I tell you what, he's slippery. Good run.
You can tell, Dave, too, the humidity is pretty thick in the air after the rain came through. Even though it's a little bit breezy down there, it's still humid, and things are going to be a lot of sweat and lots of the ball's going to be wet. That's what I'm trying to say. And the jerseys are going to be wet too. So, got to get your arms around someone to tackle. So second down now and 4 from the 33. Beathard and Bass in the backfield once again. Same play, handoff. Bass looking to get some room. Not much there though. This time he's disrupted there by number 77 in the backfield, Lawson Bear, the 6'5" senior. He's one of the small guys at 266 for Pope John Paul. There's some big boys in high school these days.
Third and short.
Good play, but it does bring up third, and let's call it 1.5 yards. They're saying 1. It's a long one from the 36 rather. They got to make the 37, and they're just inside the 35. Here we go. 1.5 yards to go. Big play, third down. Clock at 7:50 and running. Beathard goes back to pass. Looking down the sideline for Perry. Incomplete. Is that Perry? That was Brian Dangerfield, my bad. Dangerfield was the intended receiver. Brad Giroux, I said Al Giroux. Brad Giroux on the coverage. And Giroux had a good inside track there, didn't he, Dave, on the receiver. Didn't let him get to the ball.
He was blanketed at that. That was a good play, good defensive play. Get the ball back. Good field position.
Punt coming up for BGA. It's going to be Ross Grosvenor, back to punt. It is going to be off his foot. Nice punt. And a fair catch called for and made. There that is Brad Giroux. So Giroux does a lot on both sides of the ball, and special teams also for Pope John Paul II. Coaches down there, you see one of the coaches just exhorting the linemen, saying, good job, guys, way to stop them. A lot of emotion on the sideline right now, trying to get them fired up. That was a good defensive stop, wasn't it, for the Knights?
That was. They needed that stop. They need to get something positive here, maybe put some points on the board, get some confidence, and control that clock all at the same time.
7:31 on the clock. Here comes Pope John Paul from their own 29, 1st and 10. That's kind of a strange-looking formation. Now they spread out wide, 5 wide. Pullman by himself in the backfield, rolls out to the right. Who's he going to throw it to? Well, it looks like he's going for a back coming across the middle there, number 37. That's Bakley on the intended pass, but it was way too low for him. He couldn't get that one.
Good effort, good effort.
Give the old high school try, but incomplete. Second down 10 coming up now from the 29. Once again, 7-0 Wildcats lead. They're 2-0. Pope John Paul II is 1-1. This is the first league game here in their Division II 2A league. Well, that time the ball was fumbled and picked it back up again. It's a busted play. Trying to get outside is Pullman, not going to do it. Nice tackle there. He was tracked down from behind by Watson Pulliam. So Pulliam made a tackle on Pullman there. Loss.
That ball just squirted on out there. Lucky that he picked it up where he did.
Well, we've said several times that wet ball, wet field could be a factor, and they have been a couple times. And that one, fortunate that it wasn't a fumble that resulted in turnover. It's now third down 12 from the 27. Clock running with 6:46 to go first half. I formation for Pullman. Handoff to tailback. Trying to get some room. That ball again was slick on that one. The handoff was almost fumbled. Not much yardage there. Good disruption in the backfield by one of the linemen. So brings up 4th down, and Pope Paul can't get it going.
BGA is just doing a great job of keeping their defense off the field. They're going to be fresh come second half.
Here's the punt. Booming kick. Beautiful punt way back. He fumbles it again. It's picked up. It'll be a dead ball at the spot of the fumble, but that's 2 in a row that Ronald Cleveland has fumbled for BGA. That time it looked like he had a chance to catch it more cleanly than the last one, but what another turnover.
Could have been that slick ball.
My goodness. I've got a feeling if I'm BGA, I don't know if Cleveland's going to return any more kicks tonight. They may give him another chance, but 2 fumbles in a row would seem to put you perhaps in a different role. So once again, a big turnover. The question is, can Pope John Paul II convert? They have not been able to convert yet. They still trail 7-0 with under 6 minutes to go second quarter. 1st and 10. It's the I formation. Perry gets the ball. And he's got some room down up the middle. He cuts it back inside. Vincent Perry, the sophomore. Good run, close to a 1st down. He may have it. Just short, I guess. Well, they're going to start 2nd, too. It looked like it was a little longer gain than that. 2nd out, 2 yards to go from just outside the 15-yard line. So Pope John Paul getting something going here. We'll see. This is their deepest penetration so far of the game. There's going to be a penalty. Procedure, 2 men move. One of them was Chalato, and one was, that looked like a tight end or the left tackle there, Hanson. Well, we said it, and the coaches said it, penalties can be a killer if you're not careful.
Cannot beat yourself and expect to win.
So 2nd down and about 6 coming up from the 21. They've got to make it just inside the 15 for a 1st down. 2nd down. Chalato is behind Pullman. They've also got Perry, number 7, in the tailback. It's going to be a handoff. Perry, he's sniffed out and collapsed upon by good play there by number 40, Will Cross, a senior defensive end. He came across and disrupted that play. Actually, there were linemen from both sides that kind of convened on on Perry in the middle. 3rd down, about 5, maybe 5.5. Biggest play of the game for Pope John Paul? I think so. They need some points. 3 backs in a stack. It's going to be a rollout. Pullman looking for the tight end over his head. That was 82, I think, the intended target for Pullman there. That was Austin Hayes, the junior. Incomplete. So what do you do now? Do you kick or do you go for it? Depends how good their kicker is.
You definitely have to get something on the board and go in at the half with a little something.
I see Griffin Smith, number 9, coming out, the kicker. So it appears that they'll line up for a field goal attempt from the 27. So this will be a 37-yard attempt for Smith. Straight on, really dead on in the center of the field. That may help him. Wind is negligible. Snap is down. The hold is down. The kick is on the way, and well done by Smith. Really strong leg right there. Good job by the holder, too, to get that ball on the tee.
That was a great job by the holder. I played holder in high school, and I can be the first to tell you that is not an easy job.
They make it look easy, but it's not, is it? Especially, go ahead.
We do make it look easy.
I'm sure you did. I was going to say that not to beat that drum again, but it's a slick ball and a slick field, so that you got to have good hands right there, huh?
And then you have to get it on that little block right there they can kick off of. It's a little bit tougher than people think, but it's a necessary part of the game.
So now 7-3. Pope John Paul on the board, 7 with 4:08 to go, second quarter, I should say.
Stay tuned for PlayOnSports.com post-game show, where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this game. That's following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
And we'll be keeping an eye on several players who got off to a good start. We've had, of course, Keenan Bass has been one who's had some good runs. And right now the player of the game might be the kicker for Pope John Paul II. We'll find out.
At this point, it's hard to choose.
Here's Smith with the kickoff. It's going to be a knuckler down the center. Crazy bounce. Picked up. Yeah, there's a lot of room there. A lot of room for Ridley Thomas. Still going. Cutting back inside. Going to be thrown down on the tackle by Jaquie Upton, number 1. But what a run.
What a run. They BGA seems to have a lot of speed. A lot of speed.
Especially there in Bass and Ridley Thomas, those two backs. They're both about the same size. Maybe Ridley Thomas a little bit bigger. Well, actually, they say 5'9", 150. So he's 2 inches taller, but a little bit lighter than Keenan Bass. They're both quick and fast. So on the run, on the return, it went, I want to say about 60 yards, thereabouts, all the way to the 31 of Pope John Paul II. First down, BGA. Clock under 4 minutes, second quarter. And in motion, two backs with Beathard. Takes it, hands off to Bass. Bass, inside handoff. Bass going. Bass cutting back. Bass churning inside the 10-yard line up to about the 8. Another strong run by Bass. It's a first and goal for BGA.
It was a nice, solid cutback. Picked up a few extra yards. Now they're well within striking distance. Good run.
An inside handoff, of course, you always want to give credit to those linemen and receivers. Outstanding blocking and also just individual effort by Bass. So that field goal momentum has been sapped out of the energy of the crowd for the moment.
Completely negated.
We'll see if Pope John Paul can stiffen here on defense. Movement. Another penalty coming. So it's going to be half the distance. Well, that was against, that was encroachment, I guess. I think. Was that right?
I did not see the call.
Well, it was half the distance one way or the other. They're on the 4 right now, so it's first and goal from the 4. So that must have been against the defense for encroachment. Here we go. 4 yards to Pater. Beathard with Bass behind him. Two receivers out wide. Handoff. Bass, plenty of room. He's in the end zone with no problem. So touchdown BGA. And they go up now 13-3, make it, with a nice run by Bass. Who else?
Boy, that O-line opened up a huge hole. I mean, a huge hole, and he just walked right in there.
They were spread out a little bit. Extra point attempt coming now. The snap, the hole, the kick is good by number 19, Brock Morse, the 6'4" senior kicker for BGA. So Morse puts the exclamation point on that one. 14-3 now. So right there, Dave, we had momentum for Pope John Paul II on that field goal after the turnover, and then, boom, the kickoff return is a huge one. A couple plays later, BGA cashes in.
It boggles my mind in high school football how the momentum can change so fast. Then, one team's got the upper hand, then all of a sudden you get a huge kick return. They score it for a touchdown, and now they have the momentum.
And there's a buzz in the crowd. It's palpable, really, that there was energy on this side, the Pope John Paul II side, and then all of a sudden it was sapped from the air when that kickoff return put BGA into great position. So 14-3, 3 minutes flat to go first half. We mentioned homecoming. Tonight, I guess there'll be some homecoming halftime festivities, I would imagine. There's some, looking down to our right, and I'm seeing a nice table set up and tents, and maybe a homecoming court. I'm not sure if there's still time for Dave, for any of us to go for homecoming king or how that works, but maybe too late for me.
You got my vote. You got one vote.
We'll see if we can get Jessica some votes for homecoming queen. Is that what they? All right. High kick. Taken and down goes Slippery. Then it was the runner, Jaquie Upton, I should say. That's Jaquie. I got it. Upton there. Slips, goes down, so an effective kickoff for BGA, and it ends up at the 14-yard line. They pin PJP2 pretty deep. Knights have under 3 minutes to try to get something going offensively. We'll see if they can get the momentum back.
That's what I was going to say. The good news is they got a little under 3 minutes. Try to get some confidence. Maybe, perhaps, take some momentum and a few points on the board into the half.
Even a good drive, as you say, even a decent drive would be something to build on. Here we go up the middle. It is Upton, I think. Hard to see from this. He disappeared fast in the middle of that line. It is number 1, Upton. No, it's Perry, number 7. Number 7 is Perry. Upton's number 1, so it's hard to distinguish sometimes between the two of them. Pullman gets the play from the sideline. Second down, that was a gain of 4, so we'll call it 2nd and 6. Clock running at 2:30. Timeout situation, all 3 still. They call one right now, it looks like. Now they have 2. 2 remaining for BGA. They call that early timeout on the very first drive.
Do you want to watch more of your high school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com.
All right, playonsports.com indeed. So now the timeout situation, 2 apiece, 14-3 to score, of course. Clock at 2:26 to go. Well, of course, if you're Pope John Paul II, you definitely don't want
to give the ball back to him and
or
give
to
him
give it back.
Chance.
That's right. At this point, second down 6, so BGA may call timeouts here to stop the clock.
And they've got 2 left, so they could potentially get the ball back.
I would think if they stop them here, you might see Coach Batten use a timeout. You got a spider right in front of us here, blocking some of our view with the spider web coming up. Here's a rollout play to Perry, or rather pitch out rather to Perry. Not much there. Nice tackle made. Sound, sure tackle made by number 40 for BGA. That was Will Cross. Had him by the ankles, just like they teach it in camp.
Held on to him, brought him down.
We saw Coach Jocelyn compliment Coach Batten that he's going to have a sound football team, and they do appear sound. Both teams appear like they're well coached, except for perhaps when you win or win not to return or to catch a punt.
Everybody makes mistakes. I'm sure he'll bounce back.
Absolutely, that's part of life. That time, dangerous pass. It's complete though, close to the first down marker, a little short, I believe. Well, that's really close. Well, it's a bit short from this angle. I'm trying to compare where the stick is at the 24. And the ball's going down to 23 and a half, so they're going to be short.
And
4th down.
Same guy that fumbled the punt just made the tackle to make it 4th and short.
So there's Cleveland, perhaps making a positive play to. We'll see what they do now. They're talking it over. Down 14-3, 104. Clock is running. We'll see if BJ calls timeout. Now Pope John Paul calls timeout. Interesting that they call timeout there with 1 minute and 1 second to go.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games at YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
I can tell you it's 22-7. I think Tennessee over NC State, second quarter, I believe that's right.
Wow.
Volunteers,
wow.
I'm a little partial to them. It's my alma mater, but a lot of folks wondered how they're going to come out to begin the season. That's a strong start so far.
I'm one of them. And I heard earlier on some radio broadcast that NC State is the sleeper to win the ACC.
Wow. I'm guessing that may have been a broadcast, who knows, by one of BGA's alums, who include George Plaster, our friend George, and also Mike Keith. Here's the punt. It's away. It's an end over end. Takes a nice bounce for Pope John Paul II. Now it goes sideways. They're going to touch it down to about the 30 and a half. Clock at 40, still running, 48.8. Clock ran a couple seconds extra there. Wonder if the coaches on BJ's side noticed that. We'll find out. So 48.8 seconds, 2 timeouts. The ball's on your 31. Do you try to make something of it, or do you sit on it?
I would sit on it. There's no reason to risk a turnover down in this area. Pope John Paul still has one timeout left, so if you were to turn it over, they could potentially turn it into some points.
Up 14-3 here. You'd have to say if you're Coach Batten, you'd be happy in the locker room with a 14-3 lead.
I would take it.
And see what they do. Or they may give it to Bass and see if Bass can
he could slip
go
one.
70 yards. It is Beathard at quarterback in a shotgun with Bass right behind him. It is a handoff to Bass. Bass trying to get outside. Flag down is going to be holding, I'm almost positive. I saw it looked like it might have been Shilato being held along the line. 49 was being held, I think, by one of the linemen. Let's see if that's correct. Yes, it's a hold, and now it'll back up to the 20, 21, unless it's a spot foul. No, they'll go back to 21. So it'll be second down 20 with 38.4 seconds on the clock till halftime. It's Bass in the game still. We saw Ridley Thomas, 24, run a few times for BGA as well. Those backs have run interchangeably. Ridley Thomas is a senior. Bass also a senior. So they've got two strong running backs who have experience. This time it's Bass behind Beathard, the junior quarterback, and a fullback. My guess, a handoff. No? Yes, a handoff to Bass. Bass has some room. Bass is still going. Cross midfield, out of bounds at the 48. What a run by Keenan Bass. 12.3 seconds to go. We'll see if they can get a playoff and get in field goal range. We'll find out.
They also have two timeouts left, so.
Brock Morris, number 19, we haven't seen his leg tested. We saw a nice 37-yarder by BJ's kicker Smith, or rather by Pope John Paul's kicker Smith. We haven't seen Morris's leg strength on display quite yet. Right now, of course, it'd be an NFL record.
It would be.
A kick from the 47, or close to it. Similar formation, three wide. Bass, the only back behind Beathard. It's going to be a fake this time, play action. Beathard, there's a holding call. And Beathard throws it away out of bounds. It's going to be holding. It's going to back him up 10 more with 4.1 to go. So we'll see if they elect to take a knee or perhaps go for a bomb on one play. That didn't work for BGA. Got to wonder if some of those, I keep saying this, but some of maybe the slick jerseys are causing guys to grab more. Yeah. I don't know. Either way, a lot of penalties on both sides of the ball tonight. Don't have a count, but there have been a lot of flags on the field. 14-3. Almost halftime, 4.1 seconds. We'll see what BGA does. I bet they just hand it off to Bass. But no, three wide receivers out. Maybe they'll heave it up. I'd be surprised though.
I believe they'll just hand it to Bass and go in at the half happy with 14-3.
Well, now, here comes a long pass, perhaps. Beathard is going to try to throw it up, and it'll be intercepted. That's the danger. He's got some blockers here. No time on the clock. The half will end on this play, barring a defensive penalty. Still going, but down inside the 40 and out of bounds. And the interception there by number 28. I think that was Catanani. Yeah, it was Catanani. Number 20 on the interception. Well, there is a bit of momentum, perhaps, for Pope John Paul II in the locker room, and they will go trailing 14-3, but perhaps a little bit of a boost there at the end.
Just a little bit of confidence, get them back in it. They got something positive to end the half with, so that's always good.
All right, folks, we'll tell you it's halftime here on this PlayOnSports.com Friday Night Football broadcast, coming to you from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Pope John Paul II, the home of the Knights. Phil Newman here with Dave Knott, Jessica Parsley, and our friend Jarvis on camera. And it's 14-3, visiting BGA Wildcats out of Franklin, Tennessee, leading the Knights. I guess to summarize that half, you'd have to say BGA had the ball quite a bit time of possession-wise. They controlled the clock. And then Pope John Paul got back into it with a couple turnovers and that one field goal, but if you're BGA, you got to be happy about the way you played, I would think.
I think Coach Batten is really happy, minus the turnovers on the kickoff and whatnot. He's going to go in, make his adjustments. He's got a lead going in, but like he said when we spoke with him earlier, they've got to put two halves together come out with a victory.
Absolutely. And we'll see if Pope John Paul can get going a bit second half with their ground game and clock control. They had the ball for very little time of possession in the first half. It was definitely BGA with the upper hand in that respect. Now it's going to be homecoming. Here comes the homecoming court out on the field here at Pope John Paul II. And we will take a break with you. About 18 minutes to go here of halftime. Homecoming can be a little bit longer at different times. We'll see if that happens, but we'll get back with you in a few minutes here. We'll bring you to the second half. Once again, it's 14-3. Battleground Academy leading Pope John Paul II at halftime on this PlayOnSports.com broadcast.
3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from Dion.
He took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just...
Holy cow!
Can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball. 12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons win. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take, and there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac Joaquin section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
Jacqueline Williamson. Her serve is over. Dug by Holt. Giblin going back to Holt near side. Cut shot, kept alive, back and one by Cathedral. And this one is out as Caston on Hill sends it wide. And the Cathedral Dons have won the title 16-14 in Game 5.
Thomas with the ball, swings it out to Norris. Cameron Taylor tried to block that one away. Norris with a strong take, blocked by B.J. Anya. Huge block. Robinson leading the break the other way, gets it to Grant. Slam dunk Jeremy Grant off the feed from James Robinson. What a play by the Stags.
Runner at third is Chavez. 8-2 the score. Bottom of the 7th. The 1-2. Popped in the air. This should do it. Cortopassi says it's mine. Now he's fading on it. And he can't make the catch, but Gaff comes in from center field and does. Congratulations to the St. Mary's Rams, a three-peat. They win it 8-2 against Franklin to take the series 2-0.
But this is time to run an offensive set that you've done all through the season in practice.
Yeah. And you also, you get it to your hottest player right now, just like they're getting it to Eichhorst right here. He's going to try to create some space, find somebody on the backside that's open.
Eichhorst flush out to the right. Oh, breaks free of a player. Eichhorst on his own, shoots and scores, bounces a shot home. Coos can't handle the shot. Eichhorst takes off the shirt and the helmet. And how about that? Alex called it. Eichhorst, after sustaining the injury in the third quarter of play, has scored the game winner with 22 seconds gone in the overtime period. Dogpile on the field. Marin Academy take it. A fantastic finish to this game. And, well, I hope his other ankle isn't hurting after this.
Hancock to his immediate left. 2 receivers far side, 1 near side. Hancock on a counter, right side. He's inside the 10. He bounces off a tackler at the 10. The 5. Touchdown, Helix. And behind Hancock, the field is littered with white jerseys on the turf.
Wow. Hancock not to be outdone by his fellow playmakers on offense. Put on a show on that short 12-yard touchdown run. Looked like he was down after 3 yards, just threw a defender on the ground.
As sophomore Chris Carter steps under center in their tight wing formation. Lycos in motion. Second back through is Freeman. Freeman just knocking people over. Look at him run. Breaks through. 4 tackles. And now it's just a foot race to the end zone. And Freeman's going to go the distance. Touchdown Imperial on the first play of the second half. 2nd and 6 for Imperial from their own 47. They're going to give it to Freeman again off the left side. And Freeman gets by one wave and down across the 40-yard line. Still on his feet. Look at him run down to the 20-yard line. One man to beat. Gets by him. Touchdown Freeman. How did he do that? Holy cow. 64-yard touchdown run. His 5th of the game. Royce Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see the top rushing and the as I look over to our partners at KXO Radio, the top rusher in the San Diego section for the next 2 years.
That's just amazing. That is just amazing. They hit him in the backfield. They hit him at the line of scrimmage. They hit him a couple of yards downfield. They hit him again near the goal line.
Keep those Lowell fans quiet over there.
Lum sets it up to Pang. Long, it's out. Low, a magnificent 7 titles in the San Francisco section in dramatic style as they pull out a fantastic victory over a spirited Galileo Lions team. They win the 4th game, 31-29, and they take the 2012 Academic Athletic Association San Francisco section title.
Officials say no 5-second count can be started. Nobody was close enough defensively. Lyle's going to swing left side. Robinson. Here is a backdoor lob for Grant. They've been wanting that all game. And they got it, 50-42. They lulled you to sleep, and then they hit Grant on the back door.
They trail by 2. McMorrow's kick is on the way, and it is good. St. Augustine has their first lead of the game, 21-20, with 25 seconds to play. The senior McMorrow with a huge kick, not the longest of his career, but the biggest of his career. St. Augustine leads it 21-20.
Already lining up. They won't even have to run that one more play. They just acquiesce.
Why bother?
So there you have it. Your 5-time defending Division III champions, the Cathedral Catholic Dons, running up over and through Olympian 41-0 here from Qualcomm Stadium.
Patriots down 21-17. Great ball game here. Dillon taking it, looking right, throwing it up top to Gaines. It will be caught by Gaines. Oh my goodness. It looked like the defender had it, but Gaines stole it away from him. Jason Gaines, are you kidding me, my friend? Oh, boy. It looked like for sure we had an interception by the Tories, but as they both were going to the ground, Jason Gaines just wrestled it away from him. Shane Dillon to Jason Gaines on an 11-yard play.
Fanchen in the game, now out, replaced by Hayashi, the libero for defense. Wenzel serve. Championship point, ball up in the air. Hayashi's going to bring it back. Richards, deep one over and 3. Free opportunity. Look for Wallace. No, they go Becker. Hayashi, then tap over and 2 by Hollingsworth. Now look for Wallace for the match.
Kathleen Wallace. No better way for the Bulls to finish it than giving it to their senior leader.
25-12, 25-15, and with 8 straight points to close out their 3rd straight D5 championship on a kill by Kathleen Wallace, 25-21 in Game 3. Branson has won the D5 title.
To the backfield, it's Hernandez and Northcutt. Set to throw is Thomas, has time, goes for the home run. It's intercepted in the end zone. Seemed like they tried to go to Martin, and Martin slipped. Stockton, Hilmar, and Escalon. That's going to do it, folks. Victory formation, take a kneel. The clock comes out. The clock will tick down. The players jumping up at midfield. I think I see a Gatorade. Did we have a Gatorade shower?
We most certainly did. Casey Taylor getting the shower there. Very much deserved.
Down to 12.
Great tackle there by Ronald Williams there to make the stop for Helix.
And the Helix fans are starting to celebrate here. This is going to be the final play. 5 seconds. Pow will hand it off. And they're going to get in the end zone. Touchdown. That's Keegan who gets in, but that's going to be the end of the ball game. 44-6 will be the score. So Oceanside scores on the final play of the ball game.
And gets a consolation prize just to make this is kind of say that, hey, we didn't get shut out.
So 44-6 is your score. And Helix is celebrating on the sideline. Oceanside streak of 7 straight championship games has been ended.
2 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock. Clock rolling, 3rd down and 15 for the Patriots. Dylan, he's got time, steps up. He's going to chuck it deep. He's got a man open. Seth Collins with a diving catch. He hauls it in at the 25. Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you right there. Dylan goes to show why he is a Division I prospect as he's able to step up, elude the pressure, see Collins down the field, and make the connection. As I'll tell you right now, there has not been a bigger catch for Seth Collins this entire season.
Fans nervously wait on the far side. Trips right. Vernon, the lone receiver to the left. Troy Zine rolls right. Here we go. And he's going to be... Oh, he gets away, but can't get away from the second slew. Vacaville takes over on downs, and the crowd erupts. So does the sideline. Got to watch it. Got to watch the sideline here.
Yeah,
Remember,
really
they were up
stepped
35-26. 2 unanswered touchdowns. That's going to do it, folks. Your 2011 Division II Sac Joaquin Section champions, the Vacaville Bulldogs. They win 39-35 in a classic.
Although they have no timeouts, they'll get the ball on the sideline, try to set something up. They can get a couple dribbles and a shot.
And I tell you what, that was a gutsy call there by Coach Aguiar. Oh, what a shot! I tell you what, Javier Kirksey, from well beyond the three-point mark, takes the inbound pass, throws it up off the glass, and nails a three. And you've got the finish to this Cinderella story as the Ridgeview Wolfpack win the Division III boys title 43-40. And what
Caroline Martin to serve. Is 3rd time the charm for Palo Alto. Martin over, dug by Irvin. Lauren, backside, Bedard Ghani, long, and that's the ball game. And Palo Alto comes from behind. They were down 13-8 in Game 5. They win it 17-15.
Koenig, who will continue to play baseball at the next level. He is going to Central Arizona. About 45 minutes outside Phoenix and Coolidge.
This pitch is hit in the 5-5 hole. Nice grab and throw over to first base. Ori Wofford. Full extension dive to his right and gets Tillinghast by a step.
3-point game.
Down to 5 seconds. Wilson from straight away fires a 3. Goal! And that will send it to overtime as Wilson drains the 3 at the buzzer.
Straight on look, and he got it for that big bucket.
Jones, long outlet. January's got an opening. January with the left hand.
Can't leave him in a lane like that to the basket. He'll put it right through it. And that's what he did that time with the strong dunk.
He brought the house down with that one.
Now 2nd and 13 for the Dons from their own 24-yard line. Bogart's 3-step drop now flushed out. He's rolling to his right. Looking downfield, lofts it to Hines. Hines with an amazing grab. Did he get that in bounds? He's still in bounds, running by himself to the 10-5 touchdown. Wow. Unbelievable catch and Olympian defense thought he was out of bounds, and they just stopped playing. And Hines, with a headsy play, just sprints the other 30 yards into the end zone. And the Dons now extend their lead, 13 to
little
nothing.
Jumper right at the elbow for Peters.
White with
Here
the
we
dish
go.
to Gordon. 5 slamma jamma.
I don't even think Valley Center will have to snap the football. They will not. Santana puts on a rush at the end. They travel 91 yards to make it a one-possession game. They try the onside kick. They almost executed it. But a Gatorade bath for the offensive coordinator for Valley Center. Congratulations to Coach Gilster and his staff. Valley Center is your winner in Division 4, 20-14 over
the seventh inning here with 2 outs. Probably our 25th full count of the day. Of course, it's going to be the pressure pitch here with 2 outs in the final inning.
Here it comes, full count. York delivers, pitches, swung on, grounded back to the mound. Will they go home? He fires down to first. It's scooped out. Did he get him? He did. Akalani's are the Division III champions of 2012. And what a game. And Johnny York is able to field the comebacker and fire down to Spencer Henderson in time to get Jonathan Wachtel for the 3rd out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Dog pile right in front of the pitcher's mound. And Akalani's take a 4-0 victory over Tamalpais. And what a game, Tom.
Maybe they just got to practice for their celebration.
Yeah, well, let's see if they can do it twice.
Oh, good serve.
They got to get their
by
head in
Kemp.
the game.
Oh, what a save there by Fleet. Ooh.
It's
Is
4.
that it?
And there's your championship.
There it is.
And this time, champion
a
Christian.
A little less
so.
enthusiastic.
Well, this time they looked at the officials to make sure before they went to celebrate. And that'll just about do it. Here's Wilson, though. He's going to put up a 3, no good. Boy, if they did a couple of those, that might have made things a little interesting here in the last few seconds. But instead, the Stags are going to win it 74-64. DeMatha is your national division champion.
With time now for just a couple more plays. De La Salle will be awaiting the fate of the State Bowl Championship to determine their place in the final weekend of the high school football season. As De La Salle, as time ticks down now to the end of this game, which is 30 seconds remaining, have won their 20th straight North Coast section title.
Maybe you get a first down, but then the clock's going to run thereafter.
Helix has brought in their speed rushers. They're going light on the line and sending everybody with speed, and they're chasing Heather.
All right, folks, welcome back. It's halftime here on this PlayOnSports.com football broadcast on this beautiful Friday night, coming to you live from Hendersonville, Tennessee, on the campus of Pope John Paul II. It's a really lovely night and a beautiful field. The second year this football field has been in use. The synthetic field, it's just gorgeous. So it's 14-3. The visiting Battleground Academy Wildcats, BGA from Franklin, Tennessee, leading the homestanding Knights from PJP 2, as they are often sometimes known as a shorthand, Pope John Paul II, in this Division II AA matchup. First league game of the season for both teams. They come in BGA at 2-0, Pope John Paul II 1-1, and upper hand in the first half has to go to BGA. Battleground was dominant in time of possession and control and the yardage and every category you can think of. Really the one bright spot for Pope John Paul II, Dave, had to be those turnovers they got on the punts, and the one led to 3 points on a 37-yard field goal by Griffin Smith. Other than that, though, it looked like it was the Keenan Bass and Mark Ridley Thomas show on the not twins, but the dual senior running backs for BGA.
Yeah, they pretty much controlled the clock, did what they had to do, and got the job done, and kept Pope John Paul's defense on the field, their offense off the field.
All right, both teams are warming up now. You see Pope John Paul II coming over to the sideline. The Knights in their white uniforms and gold pants, gold helmets, and BGA in their blue, bright blue and blue helmets, white pants trimmed in that gold. And we'll see what the second half brings. We joked earlier that the first quarter even had all kinds of fun stuff in it. A fake punt attempt, a couple of fumbles, and lots of big runs, kickoff returns. It was really, the whole first half was entertaining.
Yeah, the whole first half I think we saw one of everything minus an onside kick, but you never know what we'll see the second half.
A little bit of camera trouble. You can see we've got technical issues. We'll get those worked out just momentarily. The second half has not begun yet, so you're not really missing any of the action on the field. Just you see both teams huddled up. And we'll get this situation with the camera worked out in short order.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night high school football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoffs, championship events, and all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Indeed it does. More than 100 games going on across the country for PlayOnSports.com tonight. And we're one of them. So we're getting our camera situation worked out. And now the kickoff will be taken momentarily by PJP2. So it'll be BGA starting the second half with the ball. Griffin Smith to kick it off. We'll get this camera situation fixed momentarily. We apologize for that technical difficulty. The kickoff is being taken now. It's a long, booming kick into the end zone, almost out of the end zone. Smith blasts it into the end zone there. No return for BGA, so we'll treat this as a radio broadcast momentarily here. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line for Battleground Academy to begin the second half. They lead 14-3. Familiar faces coming in and numbers coming in to the game. Camera back on now. We apologize for that. We had a little bit of a plug issue that we got fixed. So you can see now. We're back. BGA has the ball. Man in motion. It's a handoff to Bass, but he is snowed under for a loss. Big loss of about 4 yards there. And good play up front by 72 for Pope John Paul II. That would be Daniel Al Nemery, the 5'10", 280-pound junior.
Nemery got in the backfield and almost took the handoff.
Yeah, that was a good play, good penetration from the interior line there, and he got a lot of pats on the back from his teammates. So that's going to be second down long. We'll call it 13, I think, for Battleground Academy. The Wildcats lead by 11 points, 14-3. It's going to be Bass. Bass looking for room. He has a lot of room. He may go to the 40, to the 50. Can he be caught? The 40, to the 30. Look at that. He's gone. Keenan Bass, not touched. Touchdown, BGA. Team speed on display right there for Bass, the 5'7", 155-pound senior running back.
Boy, he is fast. He popped out of nowhere and just took off not to be caught.
Looked like there was a chance at the beginning of the play that Pope John Paul II might have stymied him near the line of scrimmage, but once he broke through that line, good blocking on the outside by his teammates, he was gone. So now huge out of the gate. Second play of the half. It's 20-3, and now we'll make it 21-3 as the extra point is taken and converted by Brock Morse. So Bass, with what amounted to, I believe, it's going to be an 83-yard run to essentially begin the second half. As the second play, he lost 3 yards the first play, then he gained 87. So 21-3, a big, huge start for BGA.
I tell you what, he's putting up a strong argument to be the player of the game.
I would say at this point, he's in the driver's seat. He may be leader in the clubhouse right now. That's a good point, Dave. We have our eyes open for that player of the game, and Bass. Don't have his numbers, but he's got a chunk. 87 yards right there. He's got obviously clearly over 100 yards, maybe 150. We'll check on that and find out and get back with you.
Stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com post-game show, where we will select the player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So suddenly BGA goes up now by 18 points. Kicking off now, looks like it'll be number 83, Matthew DeBoer. It is DeBoer. His kick is kind of a squibber. Down the middle, takes a crazy carom and now comes to a back. It is Jaquise Upton. It's Upton, but not getting too much there on the return. He's stuffed up in the middle, just about the 26, maybe 27. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights. Can they get anything going? It's a big question mark. They haven't had any success offensively tonight to speak of. Just a very, very short drive off a turnover that resulted in a field goal, but they have not had one sustained drive, at least yet.
Not yet, but the thing about football is you always get another chance.
No question, they're not down. They're not out of it. 11 minutes to go on the clock, flat, third quarter. Handoff, belly play, has some room. Churning down up for a first down there. And that was Bakley, Jordan Bakley, the 5'8" senior. Good run for a first down. That's a good start to their drive.
Went back to the exact same play they used to open the game with.
Yeah, that gut play, that belly play. Now there's a player down for the Knights. 78, I think, is the number. That's Marshall. I think it's Marshall, the 6'3", 290-pound junior. Some big boys up front. They go 290, 280, 269. They used to be professional players back when I was a kid. Those were NFL-size guys. Then they became college-size guys. Now they're high school-size guys. Next they'll be middle school-size guys.
Do you want to watch more of your high school's great matchups like this game you're enjoying? Tell your school to sign up for Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Absolutely. Now, I think that was a cramp. Yeah, he's up on under his own power there. Marshall, he's a big guy. My goodness. I'm glad he's walking off for the sake of that trainer. To have to carry him off would have been
I'll tell you what, he's a big boy.
It looked like a cramp, the way they were stretching his calf out. That's common this time of year, especially as it's hot out there. So 1st down and 10 now. Second play of the drive for Pope John Paul from their own 38. Trailing big, 18 points down. Pullman up the gut, similar play. Maybe the same runner. It's Bakley again. This time it's going to be about 2 or 3 on the gain. It is Bakley, the fullback or the upback.
Good run. Picked up a few on that.
We heard Moran's name, 55, is one of the leaders on the defense. Hasty Moran, the senior. And he's one that the coach Batten said we'd hear his name a lot tonight. We have. Senior, 5'10", 205.
He has been busy.
Man in motion. The snap. Throw is going to be short and goes out of bounds. Incomplete there. Intended, I believe, for Catanani. Yep, Catanani, 28. Couldn't quite make the catch. Is he down on the sideline? Can't tell. Yeah, he's down. He's down on the sideline, just right in front of us on the bench. That you know what it is? It's cramp again.
Another cramp.
He got his calf up in the air, his leg up in the air. So that could be an epidemic of cramps here.
I don't know if you've ever had a cramp, but those are painful.
Absolutely.
They are very painful.
In my soccer playing days, I had a couple that were, I thought I would rather die at that moment than have my calf up like that. So it'll be 3rd down and 7 now, an incomplete pass from the 41-yard line. The Knights in their own territory trying to get something going. 9:49 to go, third quarter. They trail 21-3. Here's Pullman trying to get up outside. He will not do so. Taken down in the backfield there. Nice defensive play. That's number 40, Cross. Will Cross on the tackle. That play was strung out really well, and then he was just...
Did not bite on the fake, and he was sitting there waiting for him.
capsized in the backfield. So that's a big defensive play for Battleground Academy. Now brings up a 4th and about 10. It's a punt is Giroux. Flag goes down right away. Giroux's kick is a booming kick. Won't turn over. Cleveland is way out of the way. No surprise right there. Cleveland was going to be as far away from that kick as possible after 2 fumbles in the first half. It's a good kick by Brad Giroux. Coach, there's a flag down. Now let's see what it is here before we. Procedure against the kicking team. I would be curious to know whether BGA makes them kick it again. I think they may just take the ball, if I had to guess. Let's see. Yeah, they don't want to risk another. Well, let's see. Decline. I don't think they want to give.
I would not give him another chance.
Another chance. That kick was big, but didn't turn over. If it turns over, it goes another 15 yards, and it's already a booming kick. So 1st and 10, BGA from their own 26. 9:08 to go, third quarter. They lead the Wildcats, 21-3. Two receivers out wide. Tight end then set. Beathard hands it off to Bass. Bass churning. Looks like not much there, but he ends up getting 5 yards on that little scat run up the middle.
Keeps those legs churning.
It's cliche, but low center of gravity. He's so low to the ground. If he keeps his legs moving, it's 3 yards, 4 yards easy.
He seems to always fall forward.
He's definitely leaning downhill, looks like. So now 2nd down, they're going to say 4. So that was a gain of 6 yards on a quick little handoff up the middle. Same formation, basically. Well, not quite, but it's the same back set. Now in the backfield comes Noah Mayberry, 35. Handoff to Bass. Looking for some room, and not much this time. He's going to be stacked up in the middle. Maybe a yard gain or thereabouts. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 3.
I think BGA is just going to hit him with a steady dose of the run game and control the ball and work this clock.
It definitely is interesting that Coach Batten had said they need to stop. The Knights from controlling the clock, and now they've done the exact opposite. They actually have to control the clock themselves. So here's Bass again up the middle. Bass, plenty of room. Bass cutting back. Bass outside. Bass going down the center. Now he's going to cut left. Bass is going to be taken down finally at the 22. What a run. Taken down finally there by Upton, number 1, but not before a humongous gain.
What a run.
We keep saying that.
That's all really you can say is what a run.
That's sensational, scintillating. We can think of all kinds of adjectives. He just is a tough target to bring down. So big 1st and 10 now at the 23 of Pope John Paul II. Wildcats once again threatening to add to their lead. Clock at 7:28 running, 3rd quarter. Here is Beathard. This time it's to Ridley Thomas. Trying to get outside. Won't. He'll just kind of put his head down. Ball comes loose, though. It's a fumble. I think it might be a fumble. Let's find out. The hand's up in the air, though, so they called him down, I guess.
They're calling 2nd down. He was down.
It was a fumble, but after the play was whistled dead. It was Ridley Thomas who has been spelling Bass on a few of these runs. I don't blame him. Bass may be out of breath after all these long runs.
Just seems to have one after the other.
Bass, I've got to think, is threatening 200 yards, maybe more than 200. He's got a huge running game night. It is Ridley Thomas, the tailback this time. It's a handoff to him. Up the middle, stuffed up nicely there by the Knights. And they push him way back. Still fighting for yardage there. Ridley Thomas not giving up. But that'll be perhaps a loss or no gain. And we hear Bakley's name again as one of those who was in on the tackle. So now it'll be 3rd down, about 9, the 22. Big thing is, as you mentioned, Dave, the clock continues to run. 6:15 to go 3rd quarter. If BGA scores here, it'll be really tough for the Knights to come back. There is it's Beathard with back to pass this time. Beathard looking for a target. Incomplete. Flag's coming out. That's going to be interference. That looked like it was interference to me. I think
it did to me as well.
A little early there.
Took the ref a minute to find his flag.
Jordan Tutler was the intended receiver there, number 4, the senior, and he was hit a hair early by the safety there.
That's unfortunate for Pope John Paul because I believe that pass would have been incomplete and it would have been 4th down. Now they got a brand new set of downs.
Absolutely. That pass was not on target, so it's an unfortunate penalty, as they always are, most of them. Ball now marked on the 11-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 for BGA. 5:53 to go here in the third quarter. Trying to extend their lead, and Coach John Paul trying to get anything positive happening for them. A defensive stop or a turnover would be huge for them. Here's Beathard. Hand off to Bass. Bass picks his way through. Taken down nicely, though, by, is that 82? It is. Number 82 for Pope John Paul II. That's Austin Hayes, the junior. Good tackle there. So the gain is minimal. We're going to give him 3. Even a minimal gain for Bass, though, ends up being 3 yards.
That's what I was thinking. Anytime you can stop him for 3 yards, you've done your job.
5:24 clock running. 2nd down, 7. Ball on the 8. Beathard to Bass. Bass fumbles. Ball is loose. Recovered, I believe, by Pope John Paul II. It is Knights football, so there was at least a turnover that we said would be a huge boost for the Knights, and they got it.
Get some momentum going. Pin deep. If they get some momentum going, this could be a whole new ball game.
A rare mistake there by Keenan Bass. I think he's still in the catbird seat for player of the game, but that was an unfortunate turnover, and hard to tell if it was the handoff exchange or just if he ever had the ball securely in. So the Knights have the football, 5:11 to go. We'll say it again, can they get a sustained drive going? It's a big question mark. Pullman, handoff up the middle. Churning for a couple yards there is Perry, number 7. Another player down. This time it's BGA. Lineman down. Clock stopped at 5:01 to go in the third. I see one of our homecoming court members up here right below us. If you
making the rounds.
I'm sure if you saw that, but we had some homecoming festivities here at halftime at Pope John Paul II's early season homecoming. Not even out of August yet, but they had their alumni back and had some really nice chicken tenders over there going on for the alumni. I almost wanted to kind of pretend to be an alum.
I was going to step in myself for a couple of chicken tenders.
That's right. I graduated in 1977. Yeah, that's right.
What, don't you remember me?
You don't remember me? I was the guy in the back of the class, always goofing off.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school football, playoff, and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Right on, that's right. Right now we're hoping this player is okay. It is Moran, the senior, one of their leaders. Hasty Moran, number 55, who gets up gingerly, and he's going to be helped off. That'd be a big loss.
That would be a big loss. He's had his name called a bunch this evening.
He grabs his helmet. He's walking under his own power, which is a good sign. You certainly hope it's a minor ailment for him. For his team's sake, they need him the rest of the season. BJ's trying to go to 3-0. They right now appear to be in good shape for that, barring a complete turnaround by Pope John Paul II. The Knights are facing now a 2nd down and 7 from their own 6. 5:01 to go, third quarter. Here's a handoff. There's a little bit of space. Closed up quickly, though. Getting to about the 7, maybe the 6.
There's a beautiful cut back to the inside to give him a little bit more manageable 3rd down.
So Vincent Perry, who's had a lot of carries tonight, 5'9" sophomore, so young guy, getting lots of reps for the Knights. It'll be, as he said, 3rd down and about 1. Well, every play now is the biggest play of the game for Pope John Paul II. Can they convert? Up the gut, handoff, churning his legs, I believe, was Bakley.
He was met right at the line. I'm not sure that he got it.
Not much. And you're at the point where with 4:13 to go in the third quarter, you're deep in your own territory, but you got to at least think about going for it. You may punt it, but you at least think about it. Now they're going to say first down, so they give him the spot. The mark, another player's down. Who is that? Is it Moran again? It's a cramp, no question. It's a calf cramp. That's becoming, we need some bananas down there.
Tell you what.
Some potassium, right, Jessica? Even softball players and basketball players, you all know about that.
Stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com post-game show, where we will select the player of the game, as well as wrap up all the action from this game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Jessica was just saying, yeah, bananas, that potassium boost can really help on these kind of hot nights especially. I think it's Moran again, is it?
I believe it is.
That's the second cramp he's gone down with. No? Take it back. I don't think it's Moran, actually. Yes, it is. Well, it's a 5 and it's a 35 this time.
35.
So it's Noah Mayberry. He, the butt of my really terrible Mount Pilot Andy Griffith joke earlier in the game. I won't repeat that one.
I love Andy Griffith.
I'm a big fan myself. Mayberry, with a name like Mayberry, you got to talk about Andy Griffith. Here we go. 1st and 10. Ball on the 13. Back to pass. Long up the sideline. Almost caught. Just not quite there for Giroux. Brad Giroux had a hand on it, but also so did one of the defenders, either Beathard there or Barry. Yeah, it was either Beathard or Barry that got a hand on it. And disrupted it just enough for Giroux to not make the catch. I talked earlier about Giroux. Started talking about the fact that he's an all mid-state baseball player and a kind of a quiet leader, according to Coach Jocelyn. Also a really good kid, a high-character kid, and the kind of kid that Coach Jocelyn said you want to coach. Now it's going to be 2nd down 10. Clock stopped at 4:01 in the 3rd. Handoff, not much there. Trying to churn forward a little bit. Getting stacked up in the center there. Who is that? William Harris, I think. Nope. I think it was actually Malik Harris, not William Harris. Malik Harris, number 2 on the run, but he got 2 yards maybe. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Clock running. Timeout situation, 3 still for both teams, so that's not a factor yet. Biggest factor is the score. If you're Pope John Paul II, they trail 21-3. Here's Pullman looking for the pass. It's going to be into traffic and almost caught, but not quite off the hands of the receiver there, intended receiver Upton.
Threw it into triple coverage. I don't know that it'd be enough for a first down anyways.
That's a great point. Yep, tough coverage there, and you're right, short of the marker. So 4th down and 8 into punt. It's Giroux. Big leg for Giroux. That one doesn't turn over either, but it's still a decent punt. Let's see the roll. The roll is going to be neutral, almost exactly neutral. Right at midfield, the ball will come to a stop. Touchdown there by Malik Harris. So, well, the turnover, the fumble recovery by the Knights, they couldn't capitalize, though. They have to punt it back away to BGA.
That's got to be discouraging to not be able to get anything going on, but they did manage to chew up a little bit of the clock. I don't know if that's good for them or not.
Well, right now, of course, Coach Johnson has to change strategy. You don't want ball control now. You don't want clock control now, right? You want
you definitely have to adjust. Have to adjust.
Big plays would be important for them. Battleground Academy has the ball now, leading 21-3. 3:07 to go 3rd quarter. In motion goes Cleveland. There's Beathard. Hands off to Bass. Who else? Bass. Not much there, though. Nice tackle. Maybe a half-yard gain on the tackle. Looked like, I think it might have been Devin Scott, number 71, on the tackle. Timeout call? Nope. Helmet off for a player down, injured. Second half has slowed down a bit with some injuries.
It has. Injuries and cramps.
Penalties, cramps. So we are kind of on a little bit of stall mode here. 2:49 to go 3rd quarter.
I believe that's Bass they're helping off the field.
It is Bass. That's really not a good sign if you're BGA. He's got his head down. He's limping. Well, we saw him limping earlier in the game, as you recall, Dave. He went out for a couple plays and he came back in, but you wonder if that's a similar injury.
It'll be interesting to see if he returns.
He doesn't look like he.
Doesn't look like that was a very good play for him. He's
Right.
not-
He appears to be injured significantly, or at least enough to be carried off the field or help out the field. So second down, about 9, just inside the territory of PGP2. Here's Bethard on pass play, long pass, interception. What a play by Upton there. Beautiful play by Upton on the interception. Jaquise Upton, number 1, took it away from Brian Dangerfield, number 7. Gets no respect on wide receiver there, Dangerfield, that couldn't make the catch either that time.
That was a good play. That was a good play. Good momentum shift. Maybe they can get something going here.
Right now, the Knights are just clinging to hope. If they were to drive down here and score now before the fourth quarter begins, it could be a whole different situation. Here we go, in motion, goes Giroux. Pullman, handoff up the middle to Bakley. Looks like he will churn ahead for maybe 3 to 4 yards. To me, it's a little bit of a perplexing call. Up the gut with the clock running. Maybe it's still early enough to do that.
Maybe he knows something we don't.
Well, the clock's running, but is there a big play in their arsenal would be a question. Is there a bomb? Is there a trick play? Is there some kind of a chunky yardage type play? We'll see. Same formation, basically. Giroux in motion again. Same exact play to Bakley. Up the middle for a gain of close to the first down marker. He needed the 31, and he got the 30 and a half. I think it'll be just short. This looks like, if you didn't know better, you'd think that Knights were ahead.
Yeah, they need to ramp up the tempo a little bit there and get things rolling.
We'll see. Not out of it yet, but they are definitely on life support here. Going to the first down, looks like he's going to get it. Is the quarterback Pullman on a sneak play. And he's still churning. It's like a swarm of bees right there, both teams. It will be a first down. Clock stopped momentarily at 1:11 here in the third. We will see if they can build on that. You stay with us, folks, for that player of the game interview. We'll try to get that player up here on camera, and we'll do a little interview and talk about the game. So you don't want to miss that here on PlayOnSports.com. Here we go. 1st and 10, Knights at the 33 rather. Their own 33. They have a long way to go to cut into this lead for BGA. Spread offense. Pullman looks for Giroux. It's short. That's been a theme tonight. There have been a lot of passes that were just short of the receiver for the Knights.
That's got to be frustrating for them, too. Not being able to connect on a short pass and then having to go back to the run.
Not sure if it's the wet ball or just maybe the quarterback Pullman trying to get his arm under him. Not under him, but his arm firing. He's been short on a few passes. The junior, 5'10", 155 there, Pullman. He has the ball in the shotgun. Pass attempt is going to be caught by, is that Giroux over there? It is Giroux. Close to a first down. Nice play there.
Very good.
Maybe I jinxed him in a positive way. I was talking bad about him, and he made a nice pass.
Got it down to 3rd and manageable.
Clock is stopped at the moment. 38.8 to go third quarter.
That's what he needs too, is just a little quick outs, little connections to get his confidence up.
Here we go. Stack formation there. Triple I. Handoff, nothing doing right there. Swarming around him, BGA's defenders. A host of Wildcats there took down Malik Harris, number 2. So is that a loss? Either way, it's 4th down and about 3. What do you do here? You got to go for it?
At this point, I would let the clock run out and get with my team and then make a decision.
Save your timeouts?
Save my timeouts.
3 timeouts for both teams. Clock will expire on the third quarter. Got to be honest, it looks like Pope John Paul II just doesn't have any offensive rhythm tonight. Not much at all.
Looking kind of dragging coming off the field there. They've got to be frustrated. They can't get anything going.
They look a little bit worn out, and you got to give credit to BGA too on defense. They've played well, and
they have been in the right spot at the right time.
Go ahead.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for Play On Sports broadcast program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
All right. Once again, folks, thank you for joining us tonight on this playonsports.com Friday Night Football game of the week. It's one of the featured games here in Nashville, Tennessee. Hendersonville, to be exact. We're just a little bit north of town. Beautiful campus here. Pope John Paul II. Phil Newman here bringing you play-by-play along with Dave Knott, our analyst, Jessica Parsley on production, and Jarvis Mitchell, our videographer, up on the roof. Thank goodness the rain went over. Jarvis could have been a little bit wet right now. The rain went away about 5 o'clock, and it's been a beautiful night.
Absolutely beautiful.
Fourth quarter underway. Handoff up the middle. It's Bakley again, trying to turn those legs. He'll be pushed back. Well, he's still going after a gain of a couple, but that was fourth down, right?
That was fourth down. This is all gonna come up to the spot. It's close.
I think he's short from my vantage point, and
I do believe you're right.
Well, that play has gained 4 yards at times tonight. Not that time it didn't. Needed 4, and they got about 3.5, maybe 3. Well, what do you do?
Turnover.
Turnover on downs for Pope John Paul II, so BGA will take it over, and they'll be in good shape themselves on the Knights 43. 21-3 lead. Back comes Bethard. Bethard, not that tall. I was talking to Coach Batten about that. He's only about 5'8", so I asked him about seeing over some of the linemen. He said they roll him out quite a bit. If he's going to throw, they try to get him outside or get him some cracks in the defensive line. But they really hasn't been passing the ball at all. He's been handing the ball off to Bass.
He hasn't needed to pass.
Bass or Ridley Thomas. This time it's Thomas in the game, and he will take the handoff. And it's inside handoff. A lot of room, lots and lots of room. Gets outside and taken down after a gain about 14 yards. Upton on the tackle, but not before a huge gain again for Ridley Thomas and BGA.
That was great blocking on the outside. Gave him the chance to get by the corner and not let the corner cut him back inside. Good run.
They've used that inside handoff quite a bit tonight to have the Wildcats
been
from
effective.
the shotgun. Been effective, no question. First down and 10 from the 27-yard line. On the move again are the Wildcats of BGA. Shotgun. Handoff to Ridley Thomas. Yes, trying to spin out. Does spin out. This second time, though, he stacked up. Good pursuit there by the defensive line and linebackers for Pope John Paul II.
Man down.
That looks like he's holding his knee, perhaps. I certainly hope that's nothing significant there, and that is 52. Birchwell, right? Yes, a senior. Hate seeing that always when someone goes down holding their knee.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games at youtube.com/playonnetwork. Keep up with all high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
Yep, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I myself am on Facebook quite a bit. Sometimes too much.
You have a Twitter account?
I do have a Twitter account. I don't use it very much. It's more of a Facebook guy. More of a picture, and well, I'm just not. I picked one, right? I'm too busy for.
One's better than none.
I guess they're linked, and you can link them together now, so they're Facebook and Twitter are connected.
I'm just happy to log on and get my email.
I'm trying to find the on button still on my computer still. Jessica's on Facebook a little bit, I think. Do you do Twitter also? And Twitter. These people, Jessica's a college student if you don't know that, so these younger people they're savvy on social media. As opposed to some of those middle-aged guys who are just catching on. Battleground has the ball. It's a quick out and the flat pass. That was a play you haven't seen much tonight for either team, really, the Wildcats. Not much gain there on the reception. It was Jordan Tutler, senior, but very little gain. And the important thing for BJ, the clock keeps running. 10:46 to go now, fourth quarter. There's some hands on hips for Pope John Paul. They look like they are a little bit gassed.
And that defense has to be worn out as long as they've spent on the field.
No question. They've logged lots of plays on defense. First half especially was BGA football most of the time. Here's Beathard. Pitch out. Ridley Thomas. He will get taken down nicely there. Good play to string it out for for Pope John Paul. There was Bakley, 37, and I think Shalato, number 49, also on the play. That was positive for the Knights. Clock running at 10:01 to go. Looks like
they're going to go for it again. I don't see the punt team.
Fourth and long, very long, about 14. I was going to say, it looks like BGA is poised to go 3-0 on the season, and Pope John Paul will fall to 1-2, and it'll be 0-1 and 1-0 respectively in their league play. Whistle blows. Timeout called by Coach Rock Batten over there for BGA. Let's talk it over. They may do something different.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Tennessee game, and NC State looks like it's 22-14. Tennessee leading, about 8.5 minutes to go third quarter. So the Volunteers down in Georgia trying to get off to a 1-0 start against a tough team. Wolfpack team. I think Dave was saying earlier that NC State may be favored to be one of the best teams in the ACC this season. Tennessee,
the
sleeper team. There you go. Okay, one of the surprise perhaps teams in Tennessee. I've heard people say they may be one of the most improved teams. We'll see how it plays out. But Tyler Bray, of course, big question mark. Got a strong arm, but can he be accurate? We'll see. And that has been an issue tonight. A little bit of an issue for Jacob Pullman, the junior quarterback for Pope John Paul II. Right now, though, he's on the not at the behind center. It's Tucker Beathard for BGA, and he's got Ridley Thomas behind him. Keenan Bass went out with an injury a few series ago. Beathard's going to run. Beathard will tuck it. He'll go. He'll dive. He will be taken down inside the 25, down to 22. Beathard's an athlete. He can run if he needs to.
Yeah, he had a lot of time to look for a receiver, rolled out. Everybody was covered. That was great defense. Pope John Paul.
It'll be really interesting to see that BGA Innsworth game later. I know Innsworth will be favored in every game they play. They're ranked nationally. And they've got Corin Elder, one of the most outstanding players in the state. But BGA appears to be a team that will give teams some fits. That was a turnover on downs. Pullman back in the game. Clock at 9:28. Is there any kind of a miracle on tap? Now the whistle blows. It's going to be a penalty. Yes, I think probably illegal procedure if I had to guess. Yes, well, that's not. Mike Sams there. Three of the referees are named Mike tonight. Three different Mikes. Picking the flag up. No penalty after all. Mike Sams in the white hat. We talked to him earlier before the game. He was saying, talking about that, watching head hits, watch out for the targeting type stuff. Hadn't had much of that tonight at all. But they definitely are keeping an eye on that. So it'll be 1st and 10. Again, 9:27 on the clock, fourth quarter. Here's a pitch play, fumbled. Ball still on the ground. It's loose. Who's going to recover it? BJ saying they have it. We'll find out in a moment. It's a scramble down there. Who's got it? The hand goes up.
He's calling second down.
Hand goes up, Dave, so it's definitely second down. The Knights keep the ball. That
could have been disastrous.
9 minutes to go. I think Pope John Paul II needs something on the order of John Elway to come in the game, or who knows? Perhaps Golden Tate to come back in, and
Wesley Tate.
Or Wesley Tate. either way. Rolling out is Pullman. He's going to be taken down hard, way back in the backfield. Who is that, number 80, I believe, on the tackle? So it's Grosvenor, Ross Grosvenor, the 6'3" senior tight end and defensive lineman with a sack. Well done.
It's going to be 3rd and forever for Pope John now.
They keep going backwards second half here. Nothing seems to have been going positively for the Knights. They have some soul searching to do after this game. It looks like they're going to have to kind of regroup. We asked Coach Joslin if they were, as we see Pullman hand it off inside to Bakley up the middle. Gains a couple. Nice tackle there by BGA's Kamani Roberts. That was 3rd down. Now 4th down coming up to the punt from just at the goal line for Giroux. Back to receive is Cleveland. We'll see if he can catch the ball cleanly here or even try. He may let it bounce. Giroux gets it off, barely, almost blocked there.
That was close.
Ball's going to bounce and take a BGA bounce, and it'll be caught by Thomas O'Barry, a sophomore for the Knights. So that time, that ball was nearly blocked by Kyle Evans, number 11 for BGA. But Giroux got it away, and it's going to be 1st down for the Wildcats from the 42-yard line of Pope John Paul II.
Now I've yet to see Keenan Bass return.
Well, question mark here is, will Keenan Bass be able to get up to the booth here for our interview if he's the player of the game? He's over there on the side. I see him standing on the sideline behind Coach Batten. And he's favoring, I think, his left ankle. He's trying to move it. Ridley Thomas up the middle. Slam down. Nice play there by Pope John Paul's Hunter Apple, the sophomore. So that's good. A good sign. They got some young players that are getting some reps tonight. I think both teams are fairly young. Coach Batten said BGA especially young. They only have 12 seniors and 4 juniors on this team. So really a lot of freshmen and sophomores for the Wildcats. It's their ball. 2nd down, 10 to go on the 42. In motion goes Cross. Beathard. Handoff Ridley Thomas. He's going to be slammed down again after about maybe 2-yard gain. Helping him up nicely there. Good sportsmanship shown by Shalado. Always good to see that, Dave, when guys help each other guys up off the ground. And
it certainly is. That shows good sportsmanship.
We're watching some of the a couple of the guys from Davidson Academy last week. 2 of the guys at Davidson Academy were on the Little League World Series team, and they were talking about how they'd become friends with a lot of the players from Japan, and so they were good friends with the guys who played for the international championship game. Good sportsmanship. That was, of course, Japan with the victory, but what a great showing by Goodlettsville in that whole tournament.
That was fun to watch, too. I watched every game that Goodlettsville played. They're a fun team to watch.
2 of the boys were at Davidson. They made a video last week of the crowd to show, to beam to them, to show them how much they supported them. And what a game! A 24-16 victory in the national championship game. What? U.S. championship.
That's a football score right there, isn't it?
I think they need a bigger ballpark for Little League. That seems like every time you turn around, there's a home run. I'm looking down here. I see 52 for Pope John Paul with a huge ice wrap on his knee. That's Cody Birchwell. He went out earlier, and I'm looking for Bass. Bass is over there standing with his helmet off on the far sideline. He's standing up, which is a good sign if you're BGA. But I saw him kind of moving his ankle around, trying to keep it loose. So that could be a factor. We'll see. We'll try to interview him after the game. We'll see if how the injury is and what the prognosis is for next week, perhaps. BGA's training staff includes Gary Beatty from Star PT, and happens to be a neighbor of mine, and good guy for the Wildcats. Here it is, 3rd down, about 8. Beathard handoff to Cleveland this time. Cleveland running down close to the marker. Inside the 35, about the 33. He is going to be very close to a 1st down. 5:44 and clock running here, 4th quarter. It's about time for those of us who are older know who Don Meredith is. Dandy Dawn used to sing a song at the end of Monday Night Football, and right now it's close to that time when you want to turn the lights out because the party is almost over if you're Pope John Paul II, unfortunately for them.
Looks like they're going for it on fourth down.
Fourth down, fourth and a yard from the 33.5 for the Wildcats. Beathard, handoff. No, he keeps it. Has room for the first down, and a little more, he'll get it and go out of bounds about the 32. Really didn't gain too much, maybe a yard. That's all he needed. It is a first down, I think. Well, the spot will be. My goodness, he didn't get the first. I thought he was well past the marker, but it was.
I thought he did. I thought he was too.
Looked like he went past it and ran backward a little bit, maybe. Perhaps he ran backward and lost a yard, but either way, it's a turnover on downs. 1st and 10 for Pope John Paul II.
He didn't get the first, but that was a great fake. It had me.
The play action worked really well. The bootleg there was effective, but it looked like he had plenty of room, too. It's just odd that he didn't pick up the first right there. So Pullman back in the shotgun. Spread offense, 5 wide. In motion goes Perry. Rolling out to try to throw it. Pullman to Perry. Perry catches it. Can he get something going? He's down after about a 6-yard gain to the 40.
Good passing catch.
That's kind of play you need a lot more of earlier in the game if you're Pope John Paul II. They're going to give him a 39 and say it'll be 2nd down 4.
I think they need to be a little bit more diligent getting their play calls in and getting out of the huddle a little bit quicker.
A lot of time running off. 4:34 to go. Now the game is just about out of reach. So they get anything going. Here's a long pass attempt. Oh, almost picked off by Cleveland there. It was the turning a different direction from the throw was Vincent Perry, and Cleveland was close.
Very
picking
close.
that off for BGA. Well, Cleveland's going to breathe a sigh of relief tonight that his fumbles did not hurt the team. Certainly, it resulted in the only points of the game so far for the Knights, but nothing too damaging on those fumbles. He'll probably have some extra practice this week when it comes to.
I was going to say he might be carrying a football around school the rest of the week.
They're going to have him required in study hall. He'll have his football under his arm. That's right. Pullman, 4:24 on the clock. Inside handoff to Bakley. Bakley's got a lot of carries tonight on that belly dive play. First down. Momentarily, we'll have to think about heading down and try to get Keenan Bass. If Bass is not available, we may have to think about who else whose number could you call? Maybe Ridley Thomas.
I was about to say Ridley Thomas has had a good game.
I would say we try to get Bass if he can make his way up this direction. We don't have a field mic at this point. There's holding not called yet. Throw out of bounds, intended for Giroux, but it went past him. It'll bring up 2nd down. We'll have the interview right outside the booth here if we can get the camera to catch us when the game's over. So stick around. Don't go anywhere, folks, on this PlayOnSports.com broadcast. We will take a minute or two after the game to get the player of the game up here for an interview. So don't go anywhere, especially if you're interested in hearing from, we hope, Keenan Bass or one of his teammates. And we'll bring him right up here. Here's Pullman. Going to roll out. Pass is caught nicely there by Bakley. Won't gain much, but it was an acrobatic catch. Bakley will be, he's earned his some stripes tonight. He's carried the ball and worked hard for Pope John Paul II. Brings up 3rd down and right at, they're going to call it 9. It's close to 10. No, it is 9. I see the marker. It's 3rd down and 9. Clock at 3:29. We'll see if anything gets going here for the Knights. Here's Pullman again. Huge rush coming up the middle. Pass is caught by Perry, but nice work by Jordan Tutler to get him out of bounds. So minimal gain there. It'll be 4th down, and we'll say 6 from the 48. Here's Pullman again. Going longer this time is going to be tipped up and intercepted. He tipped it to himself there, did Jordan Tutler.
That's why they run the tip drill.
Exactly. It may have hit Giroux's hands first, I think. I thought I saw it hit Giroux's hand and then hit Tutler's hand and tipped it up, caught it. Nice play there. 3:07 to go. We're going to try to track down Keenan Bass if we can and bring him up here for a brief interview. See how his ankle's doing. Or Ridley Thomas, 24. We'll see how it goes. I think Bass's injury, we'll see how serious it is. They may not want him to walk upstairs here. I couldn't blame them for that if they don't. Either way, we'll have a BGA player, we hope, in the postgame show. So stick around. Here's Cleveland. Cleveland running. Flag goes down. Cleveland goes down after that. Tackled by Bakley. Who else? He's had a whale of a game for Pope John Paul. Petty also helps out on the tackle. So the clock is at 3 minutes flat. Timeouts only, one left for BGA and all three left for the Knights. You can stay tuned, folks, for our post-game show and our Player of the Game interview here on PlayOnSports.com. One of our games of the week, Battleground Academy from Franklin, Tennessee, visiting Pope John Paul II here in Hendersonville. And the lovely, lovely last day of August. Still Beathard. Beathard hands it off to Cleveland. Cleveland has some room. He will churn up his way to just across the 30. But that was the first and 20, so that'll be second down about 11 after the penalty. Clock continues to run at 2:25. Big shout out again to our production crew here, led by Jessica, partially the Dresden native at David Lipscomb University student, broadcasting, or new media they call it now. You may see her on ESPN someday, so don't remember the name. There's Cleveland. What a run by Cleveland. He's churning his legs all the way past midfield to the 47. Good a run there by Ronald Cleveland, the sophomore, 5'9", 160. That's kind of the future in the running back core if you're BGA. Cleveland, sophomore. Ridley Thomas, a senior. Bass, a senior. Tutler, a senior. Beathard, a junior. So next year would be Beathard and Cleveland in the mix as far as the backfield goes. They are the backfield mates right now. Beathard has been in every snap at quarterback for BGA tonight. Takes this one too. Hands it off to Cleveland. Running to the left. Looking for some space. Not much there this time. He's going to be swarmed under. Leading the charge there for Pope John Paul II was number 86, Ryan Edwards. We may see some of the younger players getting some reps here for both teams as the outcome not in doubt. 1:18 to go, clock running. Now it's just academic. 21-3. So BGA will go to 3-0 in the season under Coach Rock Batten, and Pope John Paul II will fall to 1-2 with tough games coming up, including one against Innsworth. Here's a run up the middle for Ridley Thomas, who's back in the game. Next up for Pope John Paul II, rather for BGA, they will play Pearl Cone at home next Friday night. So Pearl Cone will visit the BGA campus down in Franklin. Pope John Paul II, I will have their schedule in a moment. They will, if I can find that. As BGA runs the clock out, 27 seconds to go. It looks like here that Pope John Paul II, they will play at Good Pasture next week on the 7th. So I guess that game, BGA game, is on the 6th. That's a Thursday night game next week. According to the schedule here, they'll play on Thursday night against Pearl Cone at Battleground Academy, and Pope John Paul II will go not too far away to Good Pasture to take on those Cats. Clock runs out on this PlayOnSports.com Friday night game. It's going to be a finale now. It's not been in doubt for a while, but it is. Battleground Academy 21, and Pope John Paul II 3. That is your finale as both teams line up to shake hands in the middle of the field. And on this homecoming night, so bittersweet, homecoming a bit spoiled on the field at least for PJP 2. And Battleground Academy will go home with a victory tonight. We will try to get Keenan Bass or Mark Ridley Thomas up to the booth for an interview, player of the game interview. One of those two running backs. That really, Bass was the star, if you will, on the ground and in the game for BGA. But we'll see if his foot may not be strong enough to get him up here toward the booth for an interview. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that.
Fourth and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista. They trailed 14-0 and came back.
Again, down 2-0, facing adversity, and they've really just turned the table around since game number 3. Set an attack, great block made back inside the Maverick zone. A chance there by Bosback back inside the Maverick zone. Ball attacked there by Bosback, a second opportunity by Bosback. Lift violation call. Winner. It's an over the neck call. Oh my goodness. Bosback reached over on the attack. A Maverick error wraps up the title for the Presentation Panthers. A 15-9 victory in game number 5, and they wrap it up coming back from 2-0 down match-wise and take it 3 games to 2.
36-35 and driving, and oh, baby! Shrigley with the jam, and it was with emphasis. And it's the foul, and listen to these fans.
Do you know who's standing up right behind us? Tony Bland, who is the head recruiter for San Diego State. I think he's drooling. Somebody get that man a napkin.
Quick score on this drive. There goes a handoff to Zeller, trying to go straight ahead, but he is met by Wool. Now he breaks out to the outside, gets across the 30, 35, on the right, 40, midfield. He's running down the sidelines. He's going to go all the way as he's at the 10, 5, touchdown. Patrick Zeller he stood up at the line of scrimmage and broke out to his left to the far sidelines, and he was in a foot race, and he went all the way for the touchdown. Broke a tackle and made it nice and showed his speed as he got outside for the touchdown.
Back in the backfield to the left is Campbell.
All right, folks, we're back with you here on this PlayOnSports.com broadcast from Pope John Paul II in Hendersonville, Tennessee. We're waiting for our player of the game, Keenan Bass. And while we do that, Dave and I will talk a little bit about some of the stats. Keenan Bass had 249 yards rushing of his team's, I believe, 349. There's some of the team stats here.
What a game
344,
for the young man.
344 yards of unofficial, and 249 of those on 19, is that right? 19 carries for 249 yards. As we see Jarvis up top. Keenan will be up here momentarily. We'll look at some other stats just to say. Of course, 21-3 was the final score. First downs, 14 for BGA, only 4 all game long. So 4 first downs for Pope John Paul II.
It was a rough night for them, being homecoming night. They just couldn't get anything going. Seemed like everything they tried was met with opposition by BGA. But they never quit.
Penalties, 7 for 20. That's not right. 7 penalties against BGA and 6 against Pope John Paul II. There were 2 sacks by BGA, looks like. Looking for other time of possession. That can't be right. Well, anyway, some of these I'm not sure are official. Here comes Keenan Bass making his way this direction. We'll give him the mic and we'll be on camera with our great Jarvis Mitchell, videographer. Here comes Keenan making his way this direction. All right, here he is. Keenan Bass. And go ahead and put that on there. Congratulations on a heck of a game. Looks like unofficially, I think 249 yards for you rushing on 19 carries.
Yeah.
How would you sum up your night in that? A lot of running.
You know, I got to give all the credit to my line. You know, they do a great job blocking for me. And Coach always tell me, you know, we're going to gash them. You know, keep hitting the right routes, you know. And it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I was going to be there. So I focused on that, and I kept that in my mind, you know, and I went out and run hard.
Looks like you had good blocking, as you say, by the line, but also do you consider yourself a patient back? I would characterize you as looking for holes, and then when you see the hole, you accelerate through. Is that about right?
Yeah, you know, I got to just wait, you know, hole's going to be there, and I just take it when I see it. So.
Yeah, and a couple of runs were backbreakers for Pope John Paul II as they had some momentum going. Then you had some long runs, and got to ask you, is it your ankle?
You know, both of my calves stay locked up, you know, cramping.
Okay.
So, you know, I got to stay hydrated, like Coach said, you know, get good fluids.
Sounds relatively minor, though, compared to what could have been an ankle or a knee.
It's just cramps. It's cramps.
That's a good sign for your team.
Yeah.
So you guys are 3-0 now after a strong start.
Yeah.
I guess Pearl Cohen at home next week. What do you look forward to in that game?
You know, Pearl Cohen is going to be physical, and we've been playing them for the past years. You know, a great team, you know, good athletes. But no, we're going to keep, you know, practicing hard, you know, keep our same motto. We're just trying to, you know, win every game one by one and go to the state. So.
Sounds good. Keenan Bass, number 2, player of the game for our PlayOnSports.com broadcast. Congratulations on an outstanding game to you and your team.
Thank you so much.
Keenan Bass, I'll take that back. Thank you very much. And we'll appreciate that. We'll wrap it up by saying thank you again, folks, for joining us for this broadcast on a beautiful Friday night from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Dave, any final thoughts on the game?
I think it pretty much speaks for itself. BGA came out, got the job done, did what they had to do, and came away with a victory. Got their first win in their league, and looking on to next week.
So 3-0 for BGA and 1-2 now for Pope John Paul II. And we'll wrap it up by saying thanks again to you, our viewers, for joining us tonight. And thanks to our crew here, Jessica Parsley on production, Dave Knott, and Jarvis Mitchell. I'm Phil Newman saying for PlayOnSports.com, we'll hope to see you again here on PlayOnSports.com soon. Have a good night.